We are live, everybody. I think we're live. My own Boontog.
Hi, good morning.
Mike, it's for you. Saw your message. Thanks for getting up. We're going to be changing the lives a little bit as far as the time frame. I've got some things coming up in October that's going to conflict a little bit with the timing. So we're going to be doing this a little bit earlier. We're going to be starting next week. We will be starting at 7 a.m. Manila time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just as a heads up on that, we will be changing it the same day, just a little bit earlier.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Manila time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Yeah. Until the time change. And they don't do the time change here, right? So it'll be 7 a.m. Every day. We were not going to adjust for daylight savings here. So yes, good morning, everybody. Joe's here.
Good morning.
Mike requested Joe be on. He got out of bed.
Yeah, I just woke up.
Yes, yeah, I'll go ahead and post that. Yes, here we are. Good morning, everybody. Back in Cebu. Yes. So good morning, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon. What do we got? We got Wednesday, the 23rd, 8:30 in the morning, and it is 81 degrees. Nice, my own Boontog. What we should do, Joe, we should see about sharing your link sometime. We'll experiment with that. Maybe even on this live, where I can invite her just over there, even from your laptop. So cool. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. So we've opened up this live a little bit too. So anyone, subscriber, non-subscriber, with Joe being set up as a moderator, she can kind of monitor a lot of that stuff. So we've kind of opened it up the lives for everyone. I did implement a 30-second timeout just so that way people can't spam the chat. So I think that's the only kind of restriction in place right now. So yes, good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning. I assume everyone can hear us and see us. Camera looks good. Mics are good. Yes, my own Boontog, BJ, my own Boontog. Hope everything's good there. Yes, John is saying instead, can you start at 7 a.m. Hammer time? We are starting at 7 a.m. Manila time, and we will be starting, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. So same days, just a couple hours earlier. Like I said, for me, we've got a couple of things that we're going to be doing that are going to conflict with that time on that day. So we're going to bounce up the time a little bit earlier. So we are changing that starting next week.
Yeah, starting next week.
Yep. Hello from Illinois. Yeah, Michael Johnson, Music to Motion. Love that. Cool. Yeah, thanks for being here, Michael. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for being here. Mike, what a beautiful way to start the live. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Mike.
She's here just for you, Mike. I was saying, I signed up the session. I'm like, hey, there's a request for you to be here. Are you able to be here, or do you need to start on Filipino time?
Yeah, it was like, are you still on Filipino time? Like, wait.
So she was able to get ready and get here. So here we are. Here's Joe. Good stuff. Yes. Good morning from LA. Wow. Yeah. Good evening from LA. Awesome, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah. Good stuff. I'm on time this week. Hey, Michael, how's it going, man? Yeah. Let me know. There's a couple guys, and I apologize. Actually, there's one gentleman in particular who had a bunch of questions that I was telling him, come to a live. And I'll see if I can remember those questions and shout out to you. But yeah. Let us know what questions you guys got, because really that's my intention for these lives is to, just reach out to those questions and things that people have. They just want more in-depth stuff that you really can't go into with a comment section, or do I necessarily have time to jump into an email and go into this stuff? So really these lives for me are a way for us to deep dive into stuff, questions and stuff that you guys have. That's one of the intentions, right? I think there's a lot of benefits to these lives. But yeah, let us know what you guys got on questions and stuff. So yes, what's the temp? What was the temp? BJ's asking at West 35. So when we in the middle of the night, that low I think got in the actual upper 60s, and in the morning when we got up, it was 71 degrees.
Yep.
and the elevation I think was 2,500 feet. But yeah, it was in the 70s and then the 80s as the day went on. So really, really cool. We had that campfire at night, which was nice.
Which is really nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of the differences here too of the Philippines is because you're only what 9 degrees above the equator, or 10 degrees, whatever, right around there, right? That you don't really get much change in the sunlight. So, the sun's going to set and rise at the same time, no matter if it's December or if it's June, right? Summer solstice, winter solstice, it's going to set and rise at the same time. So that's really been one of the big different factors, right? And, in the West, when I lived in Colorado, 30th parallel, this time of year, the sun would set at 9 o'clock at night. Well, here it's 6, no matter what time of year. But yeah, the temperature was nice. It's nice to get up in the mountains and get away for a little bit. Joe, what are Chris's favorite Philippine dinners? John wants to know. What are my favorite dinners?
Chicken.
I like chicken. Chicken in asal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night we had pizza though.
Yeah. Where's your mic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, pizza's been good. What are some of those soups that I had that I really liked?
He liked the chicken sinigang,
Yeah, chicken
which I
sinigang.
cooked for him.
Right. Yeah, no, that was really good, Joe.
Yeah.
And then what about
the balbakwa and the bulalo? You had bulalo at Karkar.
Okay. And then at your family dinner, what were some of the things? What's that fish thing that
the quinilo.
Yeah, that was
the
really.
ceviche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really good too. Yeah, you think of anything else?
The bangus. You like the bangus?
Yeah, the bangus, the fish.
Yeah. The fried bangus.
I think I can't remember. Is that milkfish in the United States? I think so. Yep. Yeah, no, lots of great food here. Honestly, John, the food has not been a big issue for me. That hasn't. I've really enjoyed the food and the fresh fruit and the mangoes. Mangoes are probably by far my favorite, but yeah, the food's been really good here. I've enjoyed it. Yes, magandang umaga. Yes, mayong buntag, magandang umaga for the folks in Luzon. Yes. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, definitely.
Good morning.
Yes. Just boarded my plane. Oh, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah. Congratulations. Safe. Exciting. Have a great flight. Hope you get some rest, man. Take it easy when you get here. Drink lots of water on the flight. Try to get up and move, stretch. Yeah, good luck, brother. Yeah, what a journey. I was making my MC Hammer reference at now. No, yeah, 7 for MC Hammer. Oh, it's hammer time.
Hammer time.
Right? Yeah, I'm counting down the days, BJ says. Good for you, brother. Good for you. It's exciting. Exciting. Hey, have we met David and Victoria Beckham? America has Beyonce. Oh, hey, we have David and Victoria. America has Beyonce and JC. In the Philippines has Chris and Joe. Yes. Thanks, Dean. Oh, that's hilarious, man. That's funny. Oh, too great. What's the hardest thing to deal with in the Philippines for you? Ryan wants to know.
I would say the long lines.
The what?
The long lines, the queue.
The long lines?
On groceries, on government offices.
Yeah. That's been not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I can't. What's the hardest thing for you to deal with living in the Philippines?
I mean, it's not the hardest, but one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, for example, what was the thing that we were just dealing with? Oh, yeah, the bank, right? So I went and tried to get a bank, and I told Joe, I mean, we sat down there, I got my ticket, I'm trying to open up a bank account. So I go in there, I get a ticket for to know when I'm being called, like when you go to the deli, you get a ticket for, your number's 45, right? And so I get the ticket and I sit down and Joe's with me and I said, look, Joe, I said, I'm already prepared that I could sit here for an hour, get up to the counter and have I was trying to accomplish 2 things. 1, pick up my wire transfer, and 2, open up an account. I said, look, I'm already fully prepared for have none of this happen after sitting there for an hour. And that's exactly what happened. We sat there for 45 minutes, got to the teller and said, hey, I'd like to open a bank account. And they're like, no, you can't. And then I was like, hey, all right, great. Let me pick up this cash. They're like, no, you can't. So I was like, okay, have a good day. So, I mean, Joe's talking about how I don't want to wait, but I've actually already just come to expect that that's kind of you really have to kind of, what is it, plan for the worst and or expect the
Yeah.
worst and plan
Yeah.
whatever that saying is. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, that's an adjustment for sure. But I mean, God, I mean, it's not like I'm working other than kind of YouTube stuff, right? So it's just I kind of just allow for it now, and but that that is an adjustment for sure. You know, they don't have the infrastructure and stuff like that, or kind of the flow in a lot of ways that we do in the West of things. But whatever, man. I also think that's too part of the charm of being here. You're away from all that structure and just control that's there in the West. So yeah, it's an interesting question though. But I think Ryan, early on, the hardest thing to deal with is just the newness of it all, and being alone. Coming here to a foreign country and not knowing a soul, and just being here by yourself. I think that was really kind of the hardest thing for me. But knowing, and what kind of got me through it is knowing what I wanted to accomplish by being here, right? Focus on my health and fitness, and then relationships. So I think that was the hardest thing by far. But yeah.
Yeah, the first few months.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It is a challenge, and what I want to do around that, Ryan, too, is really um, is help people navigate those first couple months, and just really build ways that people, let's get together for dinners, right, with a community, not me, and of course but let's get a community of people that we get together for dinners and that kind of stuff, and do monthly trips. Like we're going out to Sikihor. We invited a gentleman that we just met. He just got here 4 or 5 days ago. It's like, hey, come with us to Sikihor. And, anyways, so I'm really looking to help people because it is hard, man. It's hard. Joe slapped that bug on his head.
This is precious.
Yes. I do need to shave, right? She, as it gets longer, she kind of likes it. It's like a Brillo pad or a pumice stone.
My own crystal ball. Like genie.
Right. Too funny. JFK next. Oh man. Okay, yeah. JFK Airport. All right, got you. Yeah. Safe travels, brother. Safe travels, man. That's a trip. Yep. Hi from Saipan, guys. Oh, enjoy your content. Where's that at again? Do you know, Joe?
I don't know where.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
I'm bad at geography.
Yeah, the Philippines geography. Well, dude, I hope all's good there. Well, let's look up really quick. See where we're at. Maps. Google Maps. Saipan. Saipan Island? On Saipan Beach? Wow. Is that way?
Wow.
Is that in Guam?
Oh,
Wow. If you're out there near Guam, that looks pretty remote. Hope you're good out there, man. Wow, you get some weather out there too. Hello from Mississippi. Yes, good old Mississippi. Yeah, beautiful. Hope all is good there. Filipino American. All right. Where about in the Philippines were you from? I assume you're OFW or yeah. Hope all is good there in Mississippi. Yeah, beautiful, part of the United States, the good old South. Good times.
He's maybe from Bicol.
Sunny San Francisco. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hope all is good in San Francisco. I was just talking to somebody about San Francisco and how the dynamic of that city has changed quite a bit since the pandemic. A lot of people moving out. So yeah, I hope all is good there. I know in Denver, where I was at, the dynamic really changed. Similarly, that where a lot of people moved out, and a lot more kind of the downtown area just kind of went to garbage. But yeah, I hope all is good there in San Francisco, man. How's the weather in October, Oral Sand? Yeah, so the weather here right now, we're starting our rainy season. So, which means by that is, you really want to look to the east and watch for low pressure systems coming to the east and coming over. And it really too depends on where in the Philippines you're going to be at. If you're going to be in Luzon, the Manila area, you're going to want to watch it, right? Same with Leyte. That whole eastern area, Leyte, Samar, Luzon, those three regions, you really kind of want to watch the weather this time of year.
No.
Right, because the storms can come in and ramp off my head and go right up. So, yeah. But all kidding aside, this is the rainy season. So now through December is where we just want to watch those storms coming from the east. But yeah, I mean, so what does that mean if you got a low pressure coming in? Obviously, you might have a couple of days of rain. But other than that, if you don't, I mean, it's going to be just fine. You might have some afternoon showers, that kind of deal. You can expect rain more on a daily basis, but they're not long. At least,
just takes less than an hour.
Yeah, less than an hour storms and that kind of deal. So, but yeah, that's the kind of weather now versus the summertime, which Summertime here is March, April, May, and summertime here is no rain, really, really dry, and then also hot. So it's kind of nice in a sense that you've got this little cloudier, cooler, wetter time of year. And yeah, so far to me, the weather's been a non-factor. Now I haven't lived through the entire year yet, so it'll be interesting to see what this season is like for me. But yeah, great question. Good morning from Bantangas. Hey, good morning, Mayong Buntag, or what do they say? Magandang umaga. Yeah,
Yes.
magandang umaga in Tagalog there. So yes, good morning. Yeah, I'm learning. Bloggers say if you're with the Filipina, you must spend lots of time with her family, but I don't see that happening with you two. Brian's asking. Yeah, so Brian, so we went over to Southern Leyte to meet her family, and we're talking about going over there and spending some time. We are actually just talking about that last night about spending some more time in Southern Leyte. But yeah, right now we're in Cebu and we're going to be traveling around. But yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a pull from her family, right, Joe? Is your family saying, "Hey, when you coming home? When you coming home?"
No.
No, they're not like that. But you know, she's got her sister and nephews and stuff like that. That is a pull for her, as well. You know, as well as her family out there. But yeah, we're pretty much in Cebu, just traveling around. But we plan on. I love Southern Leyte, and I can't wait to go back. You know, one of the conversations we had around that was, spending a month. Yeah, a month once. Maybe whatever January or so. January, February, spend some time over there. So yeah, great question, Brian. Anything you want to add on that, Joe?
Yeah, we just recently went to Southern Meta and they
Right.
met Chris.
Mm-hmm.
But the end of the year, it's gonna be rainy there, and I don't think it's a good for him to stay there. I don't want him to get bored in the house, because he planned to go around later. So best time to go there is next year,
Right.
summer.
Right.
So
We should clip that microphone to your
yeah,
shirt. Yeah. I knew it. Yes, West 35. Yep. West 30. BJ, I called that dang thing West End, West 35, West whatever. I mean, like, I was calling it everything but West 35. But yeah, no, I'm with you, brother. Someone pointed out, a lot of people point out how if it wasn't for Joe, I'd be lost. I'd be like, how much was that, Joe? Where are we at, Joe? What are we doing, Joe? Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
making up names.
Yeah. Michael says, I will be landing in Manila on October 2nd if all goes as planned. Then heading to Tizan, Cavite to meet LDR for the first time. Nice, dude. Where's that at? Let's take a look. Do you know where Cavite is?
Cavite.
Cavite.
I think North
Cavite
Luzon.
City.
I'm not sure. Oh.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice. Yep, just a little south of Manila there. Yeah, good for you, brother. Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's phenomenal. It's exciting times. To meet the LDR, and especially if you've been chatting for a while. So good for you, man. Hope it goes well. Safe travels. Timothy, any idea on the best visa extensions to get? 6 months. I'll be there in early September. Plan on staying till March, then return late April. Probably eventually get the SRRV, but until then, yeah, Timothy. So your first extension, I think you can only do like 30 days, but after that, you can do these longer ones. So if you want to do 6 months, do it. I just did a 6-month extension, so I'm good through December. That just, for me, it's nice because then I don't have to worry about it, right? But the thing to consider is if you leave. So like right now, if we were like, hey, let's go to Bangkok, Thailand, or let's go to Kuala Lumpur, I would lose all that visa time. So you just want to be a little bit mindful of that kind of situation. But yeah, I mean, you can do 1 month, you can do 2 months, you can do, I think 1, 2, and 6 are the timeframes that you can do. Now, the first couple are kind of timed out where you can't, I think, you get 28 days on arrival. So, but after that, and I actually recommend working with an agency. I like JRC. They just make it simple. I drop off my passport, I give them money, and I don't even have to do anything with it. I get my visa, my passport and visa back 4 or 5 days later, and then it's just done. So that's kind of how I handle it. And yeah, I'm a fan of the 6-month extension just because then I don't have to think about it, more often. So yeah, up to you. But some things to consider in that though, for sure. Christian, what's up, man? Yeah, things are going well.
I'm up.
Yes, Joe's
I'm
up.
standing.
Joe's up. She's standing. You can crash if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up to you. Thank you, Joe, for being his memory chip. That's right. Absolutely. What's new there? Well, thankfully, I get my camera back on Thursday or Friday. Friday. I am so excited. I've been shooting with the GoPro, and it is not me at all. I don't like it. I don't like this kind of deal. I'm not a fan of the GoPro at all as far as a vlogging camera. So really excited to get the X3 back and start vlogging with that. We've got so much stuff that we're looking to do. We went to some really cool areas in Cebu that we're going to vlog before we head to Siquijor, and we're going to go to Siquijor probably in the next week or so and spend a week out there and just travel around Siquijor. We're going to do a quick pit stop in Bohol just because it's kind of from Cebu for us to take the motorcycle, which is what we want to do. It's a 10-hour row ride. So there is a fast ferry that only takes a couple hours. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a row over to Bohol, spend a couple days in Bohol, and then take another row over to Siquijor. And then we're split, we've only got a couple hour row rides. So, and then spend a whole week in Siquijor and then come back. So that's what we're up to, man. A lot of stuff coming, lot coming. So yeah, good times. Hey, Chris, dealing with a little tropical low here in Texas. Yeah, I think I've heard about. Well, that was on the California coast. Yeah, hope to be there in a few months. Nice, man. Yeah, nice. Hope all is good there. Yeah, I lived in Florida for 15 years or so. So I'm familiar with the hurricane season there too. So, I was on the Gulf Coast, which doesn't get nearly the storms like the East Coast or, the Panhandle does. But yeah, hope all is good there. Let's see here. Brian says, is Joe enjoying riding on the motorcycle? Is it too big or perfect, or do you wish you had a little 125 click? Will you get her a scooter to follow you? Brian, just great questions, man. Just a lot there to unpack. But, the motorcycle has been a little bit of a challenge on longer trips because of gear.
Yep.
Being vloggers, we have a lot to pack, with camera and gear and all that. So we've struggled a little bit with the longer trips. But, I love that bike. It's really incredible. And I think one of the problems is it's a brand new machine, the Royal Enfield Hunter 350. It just came out in January. So the aftermarket isn't quite there yet. But once it does come there, I think that, I think we'll be good with that. So, but let's see here. So that'll make it a little more. That way we can pack bags and things like that on the bike. Do I wish we had a 125 click? I have the 125 click. I'm not a scooter guy. I don't really enjoy the riding of the scooter. So that really isn't there. But we talked about her riding a bike as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not comfortable really riding in the city so much. So we kind of threw that out. But I mean, we're still looking at maybe different types of scooters like the ADV 350 just came out. And the advantage of the scooter is you got all the built-in storage. You got 20 something liters under the seat. Plus you can get a top box. And you can, you can step through the scooter, which makes the top box a little more livable versus a motorcycle. We're still exploring ways to travel. Honestly, in the way that when we went to Leyte, I rode the bike by myself and she took the ferry and the bus just because it was such a challenge for us to get around on the motorcycle. So it's a problem that we're still looking to do.
I would ride a scooter in Southern Leyte, but not in the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Tim's asking, do you try opening a joint account with Joe? I haven't. We're looking to set up some of that stuff. Hold on one second. I got a cough. We're looking to set up some of that stuff with the bank accounts, but I don't know. We're still looking to figure out the bank stuff. I have some things to consider with the I was told my ACR card, I have to get not a tourist one, but but a resident one. So I'm still kind of figuring out what it's going to take to get a bank account. I think I might have just gotten this information. It's kind of one of the things you hear about is if you travel around to different branch offices that you're going to get different information. So I'm still in the inquiry of what it's going to take to open a bank account. I've heard the trash cans in the CR can be hard to deal with there. Yeah. Well, it's different because you don't necessarily flush paper. They put them in a trash can. So yeah, it's a little different. But here in the condo, the plumbing here is so good that we don't necessarily have to deal with that. Or maybe Timothy's saying maybe open an account with Citibank or Chase and then request a Philippines account to attach your US account. Yeah, I'm still struggling with the bank stuff. I haven't done a ton of research on it, but it is something that we're trying to figure out. We're trying to work on. Let's see here. Hard to come online and say hi. Filipina P did a video. Had to come online and say hi. Filipina P did a video that she is in the United States on Western women. Replies are all funny and how men prefer Filipina and turn their back on Western women. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic right now in the dating in the West. And, it was one of the factors why I moved here. It really was. I mean, it wasn't the number one reason, but, when I got in an accident last year and was looking at that and, being by myself in a wheelchair, it's just like, what's the saying about you want to know your future, just look at where you're at, right? And when I saw that, I was like, I need to change things up here. And so yeah, no, I get it. The dynamic there in the West is pretty bad, and and I just didn't see it changing at all, and I don't see it changing at all. In fact, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. And so yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I love being here. The dating here is unlike anything that I've ever experienced. You go from zero to hero, and it's pretty spectacular here. I'm not gonna lie, it's incredible. I pinch myself all the time. Joe catches me like, why are you staring at me? And it's like, here you are. It's amazing. It really is. And I haven't really watched I've watched a lot of bloggers since I've moved here. It's different once you live here. You don't necessarily need to watch guys like me on how to live in the Philippines. You're living in the Philippines. So, but yeah, so I haven't watched a lot of her stuff. I was, I heard she was going over there, and I know her stuff is so scripted that I was not worried, but I was interested to see how that would impact her at all. But whatever. She's probably doing well no matter where she goes. But yeah, good stuff. Good times. Good morning, Chris and Joe. Just booked my first Explorer trip end of October. Should I bring all my money in cash, or should I just draw cash from the ATM, safe, and walk around with cash? Is it safe? So, yeah, it's a great question. So when I came over here, I had brought 5,000 US with me, and I basically just kind of cashed it in, whatever, probably 1,000 at a time. So is it safe to carry around that cash with you all the time? No, not really. If you have a secure place that you can put it in, then yes, then you're fine with that. You can get like there's some, what do we call those, lock safe bags? Those would be something that you could use to kind of secure your money in your hotel or condo or wherever if you're traveling around from place to place. You'd probably want to maybe utilize ATMs a little bit more. But if you're going to be in one spot and Airbnb, yeah, you should be fine. It kind of depends. But I wouldn't walk around with a lot of cash. I mean, I'd probably carry, on a day-to-day, whatever, somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 pesos with me. It's more to get you by. But yeah, great question. Yes, it's a chia pet. I was talking to Joe about chia pets. She didn't know what those were, but it was, but yeah, that's too funny. What was the artist? I can't remember his name. The guy that did all that chia pet, Bob Ross. Yeah, the Bob Ross chia pet, or the Barack Obama chia pet. Yes, good morning. Mayam Buntag, Magandang Umaga. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, was Joe able to quit her job? Was Joe able to quit her job? So is she living with you full time? Brian's asking. So basically, what Joe was doing before is she was really kind of take doing a lot of stuff around her house. You know, they've got a big house with some land and stuff, and her dad's got some medical needs. So she was really kind of doing that and really just helping out the family, helping out her sisters, helping out all that. So she had gone to college and studied hotel management, but yeah, didn't really have an active job at the time. So it was pretty easy for her to kind of pick up and come over here, which is really something to consider, Brian, and others too, as you're looking at a relationship. You know, if your Filipina's working full time, you know, more than likely they don't have like 6 days a week, 12-hour days kind of deal. I mean, there are that jobs, but for the most part, they have similar labor laws to us. So kind of 8 hour, 9 hour days, whatever, with lunch and that kind of thing. So, but if you're looking to travel like I am, having a Filipino who has that availability was kind of important to me. So it worked out well in that regard. But something to think about as you guys are coming over here and looking for dates. But great question, yeah. Hey Joe, do you know how to operate bikes? If so, have you tried any Chris a beast of a bike cat? Do you know how to ride a bike?
No, I don't know how to ride a
You
bike.
don't know how to ride a bike?
No.
Ah, all right. Okay. Well, we should teach you how to ride a
Oh
bike.
my god.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that. Great question, Dean. Oh, too fun.
I'm
Good
scared with
question.
bikes.
What's that?
I'm scared with bikes.
I can't hear you.
I'm scared.
You're scared of bikes? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Charles says hello from hot Texas. Oil field working like crazy. Yes. And yeah, I bet it's super hot there. Yep. Yeah. In it. Hey, Joe, can we turn that light on behind me? We got dark. Yeah. Funny with all the oil and gasoline was still $3.08. Yeah, I don't know what the gas is here. Yeah, I'm not sure the price of gas. I know it's a little more expensive here, and it also goes by the liter. But yeah, yeah. Good morning, Chris and Joe, Scott. Yes, hey Scott, how's it going, man? Yeah, dude, good hanging out. Good meeting up with you. Hope you're adjusting well. This gentleman here just moved recently from the United States. He's in Reno, and we've been connecting and grabbing coffee and dinner. So it's really kind of fun. It's fun connecting with people fresh off the boat, and seeing their experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, good times, man. Hope you're good. Hope you're good there. Yes, gamer. Morning, Joe. Morning, gamer. Hope you're
Good
good.
morning.
Hope you're good. He's calling me Joe like Cano, Americano. Yeah. He calls me Joe all the time. John asks, with the rain season coming and you have only a bike, do you have concerns of riding on the rain, John? You know, I don't, because I can really get around. So in the city, I don't really ride my motorcycle. I do a little bit, but for the most part, I still just cab everywhere, just because I feel like the city riding is a little bit sketchy. So I do ride cabs and grabs. So pretty much everywhere in the city. So if it's raining out, whatever. I have rode in rain quite a bit, and I did bring my rain gear with me. But the nice thing too about the rain here, John, is that it's 80 degrees and raining. It's not like 50 and raining, right? So you're not worried about hypothermia and stuff like that. So you can pretty much be out in it and not be an issue other than you get wet. And also too, watching for flooding. So, but the other thing about the rain is that it's usually pretty quick, like 45 minutes or so, and it's kind of gone. So yeah, the rain really hasn't been a big issue. It'll be interesting to see how this rainy season is, especially as well as our trips that we're going to be taking. There's going to be a lot of riding. It's going to be over to Bohol and then down to Sikihor and that kind of deal. So yeah, great question. Joe, take a seat. Okay, please don't be shy. Yes. Oh yeah. No, we'll want to figure out a way to get her on camera too. But yeah. So how do you all celebrate Joe's? How did you celebrate Joe's birthday? Charles asked it. So we were up in the mountains for the morning of that her birthday. So we were up there. We hung out. And then we came back down the mountain, and then we went to a nice dinner. Had the steak dinner and then went out for some dessert, that kind of deal. Yeah, we went to this really cool. Yeah, talk about the Korean dessert that we had.
So it's a Korean dessert, like a hollow version. It's a bingsu. It's called bingsu. Yeah, it's basically a lot of shaved ice in the middle, and on the sides there are like mango, ube, strawberry. They've got a lot of flavors there. So, and it cost 499.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can basically share it with two people, like
yeah,
three people
just
could have
massive.
that. Yeah, it was massive.
Yep. Yeah, so we kind of were up in the mountains and then came back down here and had a great dinner. Went to a really nice steak place and then had some dessert. So yeah, we're just cruising around town. Yep.
Yeah, we had dinner at Okinawa Heat in Ayala IT Park.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was really good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
great little
nice.
restaurant, good steak.
Japanese restaurant.
Yep. Yep. I guess I need to tell my Joe to add a hi. Ah, cool. Joe likes to rub Chris's head. Joe likes to rub Chris's head. For Christmas, you should get her a chia pet. I know, Frank. It was actually it was a little distracting. I was trying to talk, and she was back there rubbing my head. I was having a hard time focusing on what I was saying. Oh, that was so funny. So true, Frank. Chris, yeah, Japan is pretty out there, but it's super beautiful. I can't wait to get back to the Philippines and see my babe KO. Have a Having a Filipina is beyond anything I've ever experienced. Yeah, Brian, so true, man, so true. Yep. My own Boontog. Have you taken Joe down south to go canyoneering yet? No, Taco Nomad. We haven't gone. We haven't gone down south. It's on our list. Go ahead. What you
If
got?
anything, I'm the one who wants him to go to canyoneering and south, but he's like, no.
So Taco Nomad, and if some of you guys probably already know, I am not a big fan of heights. I am just not. I struggle on top of a 6 foot ladder. So the thought about jumping off something, it just
Yeah.
that's not my type of adventures. I'll move to the Philippines. I'll move on the other side of the planet. I'll ride a motorcycle up and down these canyons and stuff. But heights, yeah, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, canyoneering is a lot of jumping. And
Right, right. But I mean, and the other part of that too is just my physical abilities. I'm still kind of recovering. I'm not anymore, but I'm 50 something, and I had like a year and a half of just really kind of a recovery from a bad accident. So I'm still not where I can crawl around and move so good. So that's another aspect of it too. I'm just not as mobile as I used to be. And while I am in decent shape and run and exercise and things like that, I still have a little bit of mobility where I'm not as good as I want to be. But we do plan to go down to what's that called? Koswayan Falls or Kasawan Falls?
yeah, Kasawan.
We
I
do plan
forget.
on going down there
Kawasan Falls.
south of Manila or south of Moabol and do that at some point. At some point for sure. When you're traveling long distances around the country, are there motorways? Dean, there are, and it's different though than U.S. There's not a lot of interstates or highways. I think they are in Luzon, but here around the Visayan and pretty much everywhere else, there's not a lot of these big highways. It's just really a lot of 2 lane roads. It's a lot of slow. Very rarely do you get above, 40 miles an hour. I think one time I got above 40 miles an hour. It's slow travel. So, which is why scooter and motorcycle work really well. So yeah, so you kind of are on these slow side roads, 90% of the time. Yep. Tips to get over fear of flying. 17-hour in the air makes me nervous. Yeah, Saturn. Tips to get over fear of flying. I think one is just look at the data, look at the stats. What it's statistically safer to fly than it is to drive. So I think that's the thing, and then, just relaxed and that kind of deal when you're on the plane. Avoid alcohol, that kind of deal, because that can, as much as you think it might calm you, it might make it worse. But yeah, I think just looking at the stats and just knowing that it's safer to fly than to drive a car, and and then for me, I like the aisle stuff. I like sitting in the aisle. That allows me to get up and walk around, kind of deal. But yeah, no, I hear you, Saturn. But it's safe, brother. You should be, it's safe to fly. Michael's asked, did they just change the travel visa from 30 days to 59 days, official stay without having to do an extension? I think that did pass in one area of the legislation, but I think it still has to be voted on by the president. So I don't know if that's official yet. I'm not sure on that. It could be. But yeah, I think when you get here, you can run out to JRC and kind of talk to them about the visa stuff and get what's good there. Jennifer Terry too. I think she's still doing stuff. Again, she's another one that I just don't watch anymore because I'm here. But she might be one that has some more information on the latest on the visa stuff if you're not already following her on YouTube. Great info. I do plan on taking a lot of side trips, but that may be later in 2024. Good to know. I lose the rights if yeah. So if you get your 6 months extension and you fly out of the country and like for me, right, my visa is good through December. If I leave now, I'm starting all over again. So you kind of lose that visa, but whatever. I mean, it's not a complete deal breaker, but it is something to consider, in that way. Yes, my Buntag, Joan, Chris, ¿cómo está? Secrets to successful relationship. Well, I think no matter what part of the world you're in, you gotta communicate, right? You gotta have tools to talk to each other. You gotta relate to one another. You gotta have good problem resolution and conflict skills. You have to know that there's no such thing as being right. There's no such thing as right. There just isn't, and I think that's key. What would you say, Joe?
Yeah, there's no secret. There's no magic syrup. There's no seasoning for a successful relationship. I mean, it's really up to you both if you want to work it out. I'm just glad that Chris is very communicative and tries to listen. So yeah,
I try.
yeah, I yeah he tries. Especially he has just a little bit of patience. So I'm just thankful that he's
Yeah.
adjusting
Yep.
and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, me also actually a lot of adjustments, and I try to get better every day
Yeah.
with our relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Great question, Philip. Thanks, man. Timothy's saying the drone shots were really nice, by the way. Thank you. That was really kind of the first time I got up and flew the drone here. More to come on that as we're going to be going out to Sikihor and out to Bohol. We're really going to be in these destinations where we can fly. I'm kind of a little bit Americanized in my OCD towards rules and regulations. So as much as I'd like to fly, there's just a lot of areas that I'm not supposed to, right? And like proximity to airports and over people and stuff like that. And I just want to make sure that I follow those rules here. I don't want to get myself in trouble with Philippines government or anything like that and get myself deported. So I'm really cautious on things like that, and probably in some ways maybe overly cautious than I really need to be. And again, that's my still being a Westerner and being an American. So yeah, but really appreciate that, Timothy, and more of that to come for sure as we get out in these areas that are or where flying's available. Great info on the visa 6-month dealing and 6-month dealing with company. Nice pay for the SRRB is 20,000 more. Not sure if I can extend 6 months, or is there a limit? I think 6 months is the longest you can go. So yeah, 6 months. And honestly, I'm gonna probably check back into the SRRB. I don't know. If I got to stick 20,000 in the bank, I'm not going to do that. Just because that's a lot of money to sit there and earn no money, earn no interest. So I am going to investigate more. I do like the idea of, kind of the yearly deal versus every 6 months, but even then, and then I can come and go as I please. Because with the tourist visa is when we stay longer than 6 months, then we have to do an exit clearance. And, that can take 3 to 5 days to do that. So that's something you have to plan for ahead of time. So yeah, there's some advantages for sure. Yep. Mike, I thought they extended the entry visa to 15. I don't know if that's legit now or not. I think it did pass one. I don't know if it passed both. Living here now, it's not something I'm really dealing with. But when you get here, you can just pop over to JRC. You can get all that stuff. You get all those questions answered there too. And they can get all that set up for you. But yeah, yep. Yeah, that's what I heard recently. I don't know if it passed fully or not. Bohol beaches look insane, so beautiful. Yeah, really excited about Bohol. We're gonna spend, I think, 3 or 4 nights in Bohol and hang out there and go see the Chocolate Hills, go see the Targiers. Targiers? Go see the
Yep,
that, and then just kind of travel around there. So we're gonna be doing some stuff. Not a ton of time in Bohol, not as much as I'd really want to spend a week there, but it's really just kind of a pit stop for us as we go to Sikihor. So yeah, Bohol looks beautiful. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yes, Charles. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I really enjoyed Sikihor. We'll definitely go back. Found a found a secluded beach that my girlfriend and I had to ourselves. Tim, that's everywhere, right? I'm just seeing so much of that, and a lot of I mean, outside of Boracay, right? But when we went to Bantayan Island, when we went to Camotes, you have these beaches, these beautiful, beautiful beaches, all to yourself. I mean, gosh,
Southern Leyte.
it's Southern Leyte. I mean, just like they're just everywhere. It's amazing, right? And there's nobody there. Nobody. Yeah, man. Really excited about Sikihor too. I've never been. It's interesting. This is something we're going to talk about on our video, but Joe is a little bit hesitant about Sikihor, right? And there's a lot of reputation around Sikihor and what goes on there, the voodoo and just the bad vibes that are kind of there. And her mom was like, "What are you doing going to Sikihor? You shouldn't be going there." So that is real, guys, as far as the locals and how they think about that, right? You have some hesitation about going to Sikihor?
Yeah,
I mean, some serious hesitation, right? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk more about that on camera once we're there too. Fear of flying. It's a lot safer than driving. Yep. The pilot knows how to fly. It's his or her job. The turbulence is normal, so buckle up, enjoy the ride. Yeah, absolutely, BJ. You know, my dad was a pilot, not a commercial pilot, but my dad he had a small Cessna plane that he was flying. So, I mean, I've been in a plane a lot. And so I've kind of been around a lot of that. But yeah, no, I know. And, I have a little fear around takeoff and landings, even so still. But yeah, I'm looking at the statistics, I think is a good way to kind of divert a lot of those fears. It's really safe. Yep. Mark, hey, Mark from Dallas. Hey, howdy, y'all. Where is JRC in the Philippines? Cebu only? Yes, awesome. Dude, couple days and I get that camera back, I'm going to be throwing a party. I miss it. I'm really, really, and look, nothing against the GoPro. I think it's great. It's just, dude, this is not my style. And I just love how it captures. And I know some people get a little bit upset on the edges and stuff because it does a little bit of distortion. But I don't know, man. I love the camera. I love the footage that it puts out. But as far as JRC, they've got offices all over the Philippines. I think they have one in Manila. You can look them up. They definitely have one in Cebu. I think they have one in Dumaguete. I think Davao City. They got offices all over. Really, really, really phenomenal service what they provide. The one here in Cebu, I did a video on it, really kind of dissecting the Cebu Business Park. Where you're going to find JRC, where you find Globe, where you find the Metro. Kind of, I really went through the neighborhood. So if you guys are coming to Cebu, check that video out of mine. I think it's really helpful to locate those because JRC. I mean, I was just talking to Scott about this. JRC and Globe, both of those, man, they took me a week to find where those are at because they're really hidden. They're really hidden. Yeah, yeah. Raymond, gonna finish my last post. Which part of Leyte would you recommend? Yeah. So which part of Leyte? I mean, it just kind of depends, right? I mean, if you're into like rural areas, then I mean, Southern Leyte is just gorgeous. I mean, Little Juan is amazing, just stunning, stunning, beautiful, big whirlpools. It's really not used to really any foreigners. I mean, they're not. But if you want a little more city action, what's that city? Ormoc, I think is there. Masan, what's that city that starts with an M, Joe? Maasan is another one that's a bigger city that would be, kind of decent. Also, Sogod at the top of the Sogod Bay is probably a lesser known kind of area. And then, of course, as you go up north, you got what's that, Taclobaran, Joe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you got that up north.
But I would avoid Tacloban, Samar, Albuera, those side of the because of the typhoons or typhoons.
Right.
I would
So
avoid
Joe,
that.
avoid the more northern, stick to southern, is what Joe's saying. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
the
great
very
area.
eastern part.
Yeah, eastern and northern parts of Leyte and Samar, they get hit pretty regularly with storms. Let's see here. Fernando, managing expectations is essential when traveling abroad. Chris has a really wholesome attitude to strange cultures, a perfect explorer. Oh, thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, thank you. Hope all is good for you too. It's just being easygoing. I mean, in the name, right? Trying to be carefree as much as possible. I mean, honestly, being a Westerner, working in IT, and then in particular the legal industry, that's a pretty intense industry, and kind of trying to be this easygoing guy in that industry was a challenge. But actually, I made it work, and it's always been one of my say assets, characteristics since I was a kid. So yeah, really thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thomas, good morning from Azimo City, my own Buntag. Yeah, good morning, man. Thomas, thanks for being here. Hope all is good for you. Yeah, good for you, man. Ryan, has Joe ever dated Americans? Are you the first? Joe?
The first guy I've met in person was a German.
Yeah.
We were dating. But I've met a few men online, but we never met in person.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically, technically, Chris is the first uh, guy I met in person, American
Right.
person.
So the first American you met in person?
Yep.
Yeah. The first long-term date, the first long, dating foreigner, long
Uh,
term, in
it,
person.
it ended shortly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it didn't last long,
Right.
just a few months. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yep. So the first American. What do you think so far, Joe?
it's great. It's it's been doing well. So yeah.
It's been great, going well. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, too fun. Truth be told, Chris, sorry about your accident. When I got sick, my ex-girlfriend was not there for me. I supported her, etc. 9 years. So yeah, and truth be told, at this stage of my life, it really was a big factor for me, in a lot of ways. It just really, really woke me up to, you know, how short life can be, and then also too, just kind of, all right, if you don't like what's going on, you got to do something. You got to do something different. And that was a really big wake up call for me. And being alone, being in a wheelchair, going through that experience, I'm like, wait, I got to shift some stuff here. I got to shift what I'm doing in my life. I got to shift, my thoughts about relationship. I got to shift on all of it, and that's what I did. And so yeah, it was a really kind of key factor in me being here where I'm at. And so yeah, yeah, totally. Dean, given how you have experienced the country so far, do you have any pearls of wisdom you can pass on to those looking to move there? Yes, come now. I mean, really, right? What are you waiting for? I mean, if you got your finances right, so hire a financial advisor and say, look, I need 36, 48 a year, American, 36,000, 48,000, US dollars a year. And do I have the assets to do that? And if he says yes, get out here. Get away. Get away and get out here. Especially just this election season's coming up. I mean, if I had to listen to, my name's so and I approved this message. I mean, just that reason alone, just go. But yeah, that would be my advice: is just get out, man. Get out. That ship is sinking, man. Oh, sorry, but yeah, but obviously run the numbers first, right? I mean, be responsible about it. Make sure you got enough cash. But yeah, that would be my pearls of wisdom. And then get here, come to Cebu. I still think it's the best place for us to start. Come to Cebu, hang out at the business park, hang out at the IT park, make some friends, make some connections. Get around, see what you want to do, and then. But yeah, that would be it. Brian, thanks for answering my question about the time with Joe's family. My bucket list includes going on a motorcycle trip with you. Let's go, brother. Joe and Chris are the two nicest vloggers in all of YouTube. Yeah, really, thank you, brother. Brian, and I've talked about this a lot. my intentions of this channel. Dude, it's a family channel. My kids are on here, my dad, my sisters, and just my whole reason to come to the Philippines to create a happy, peaceful life for myself and to bring chaos and crazy into my channel and all that kind of stuff that's just ridiculous, right? So I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate it. And it also too, it's just really at a core of who I am. I want to have a great life, and I want to have fun in life. And granted, there are times where things are challenging and difficult, but yet at any moment we have a choice to be who we are in the matter. We really do, and no matter what our circumstances are. So yeah, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, man. And I'm looking forward to that ride. Trust me, that's one of the things I'd really want to create here is a riding community also for us to kind of show up and do some trips. I mean, the riding here that I've done is just amazing, man. When I was going through Comodos Island and riding on that island, just this really hilly terrain and these palm trees, and then boom, it would open up to the freaking ocean. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, blows away Highway US 1, right, in California. Just unreal. And just some of the steep mountainous stuff. Yeah. But no, thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Exchange currency at the airport if possible. Some currency exchange places could scam you. Yeah, you can exchange in the airport. I don't know about the rates there. And I think you do. You want maybe 1,000 pesos, which is what, $10? If you can exchange a little bit even at the airport. I don't know if you have the best rates there at the airport, but just if you have, whatever, 1,000 pesos or so, that way you can get around, that'll help you. But I wouldn't change a lot of it at the airport. I would wait till you get here, and then I just use the metro. I think they have pretty decent exchange rates, and you can get in and out, or you can go to the banks and stuff. But yeah, good stuff to have some money. And then a couple things that you want to set up when you get here. Once you get your phone number, once you get your Philippines phone number, then you can set up your Grab and you can set up your GCash, and those things are going to go a long way for you in getting around, especially in the bigger cities. And paying bills and all that stuff. So good stuff. Yeah, truth be told, getting the Mr. T Chia Pet is awesome. Mr. T Chia Pet, too funny. When entering the Philippines, can you trade your USD for peso at the airport? Yeah, so I guess you guys were talking about that. Yeah, I think there are some exchange places there, Michael. I would assume there would be, and you're going to need some, right, to kind of get your cab out of there, except they're not going to take credit cards. You're going to need a little bit of cash. But once you get here, like the next morning and stuff, if you get 1,000 pesos, you're good for a little bit. More than from Cebu. If you're coming in here in Cebu, and let's say you're going from the airport to like the business park or the IT park, that cab will cost you less than 500 pesos. So probably around 200, depending on the traffic. So if you get yourself 1,000 pesos or so, you'd have food. You can get a snack or whatever at a 7-Eleven and that kind of thing. And then next morning, first thing, right, go cash in, whatever. So you got some cash. But yeah, good stuff, Michael. Hey Flex, sorry to hear about your accident. What do you think about the possibility of a trucker living half year working in the U.S. and the other half in the Philippines? There's a lot of people I think who do exactly what you're talking about. They live partially here, or and then they go back home to make some cash or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. Just budget that 24,000 to 36,000. 2,000 to 3,000 a month is a really a good strong budget for here. And then you should be go for it, man. I don't see why not. Absolutely. James, I just bought my February 6th plane ticket for Cebu. Now I need to find a hotel or condo short term so I can look for a long-term place. I love your videos of the Mountain Avengers. It was awesome. Yeah, James. So if you go out to my YouTube channel and you look at the community tab, now you can only do this from a computer. I don't believe you can see the community tab from an iPhone or a tablet. But if you go on a laptop or a computer, go out to the community tab. In there's a list of 2 real estate brokers who work out of Cebu. One guy is named Ram, who found me this place, and the other guy is named Nick, who I haven't worked with, but he was open. So Ram is definitely open, and email him. And at least what you could do there is maybe get the ball rolling. But yeah, you can get an Airbnb for that's what I did. I had an Airbnb for the month of December. I used that time to find long-term residents. And then, you can look at, there's a website called RentPad that you can go out to there, and you can also look at places. But you're going to want to get here. You're not going to want to secure a place long-term without seeing it. So, and then, so get here, and then you can start looking at places right away. It's not going to take you long here in Cebu City. Unlike other parts of the Philippines, there really is an abundance of places to be here. I mean, there are so many, and they're building so many. I mean, we were just looking at places because my lease is up in December. We're looking at where we want to go next. And James, when we were driving around, we probably saw 4 or 5 different massive complexes. I mean, I'm talking massive complexes with hundreds of units in them. So it's really booming here as far as places to stay, and it's only getting better. And also too, compared to other regions of the Philippines, you don't have the power issues. I mean, we had a big storm run through here yesterday, and we lost the power for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, not even that, and it was right back up. So, and that's the longest power outage I've had in the nearly 9 months that I've lived here. So yeah, good stuff, dude. Good stuff. And reach out to those guys if you want, James. They're ready, and they know you guys are reaching out. Several folks have already reached out to Ram and Nick. So yeah, good luck, brother. Yeah, good. That's exciting. Tom's, take Joe to the climbing gym. I think she will do well. Tom's, I think you brought that up before. Joe, do you know about the climbing gym? What's that about?
No, I haven't been in a climbing gym.
Yeah.
Like it's an inside.
Yeah. Dude, she is tall, and I mean,
Yeah, it's not very common here to do
yeah.
that.
So she's got some serious. I think you're right, man.
Oh my
She's
God.
got long arms, long legs, and her, and she's strong.
But you're scared when you look at me going heights.
Well, I'll be on the ground. It's not like I'm gonna climb up next to you. Don't worry about that. Yeah, no, I think you're right, Tom. So we'll have to look at getting her in a climbing gym. Well, guys, remember to give a thumbs up. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, brother.
I'm
Joe?
I'm clingy though. If I'm climbing, you have to climb also.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard
It's
that.
like you jump, I jump.
If I'm climbing, I gotta climb with her. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Yes, good morning. Jojo, good morning.
Hi, Ate Joe. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Hey, I hope you're good there. Joe was showing a post that you might have
Yeah.
your Joa there.
I hope you're enjoying your time there and so
Yeah,
happy
sweetie,
for
good
you.
for you. Yeah, I hope you're great. We were just watching stuff. Yeah, in the back one video a long time ago you sent where you're playing your ukulele. So yeah, I hope you're good there, sweetie. Hope all is good there. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying your time. Paul, not in the Philippines. That's funny. What a name. Chris, what do you think about the downfall of Jasper? Oh my gosh. I don't know anything. So, wow, where do I start with this, right? So I used to watch before he got monetized. If you look back at my Bataan video or my Boracay video, he and I were chatting, right? Nice guy. He and I were chatting. I was like, hey, where should I go? Where can I find internet? I was really struggling with that kind of stuff. And so right around then, so this is Holy Week, which is early April. Right around then, he got monetized, and bam, something happened. Something flipped in him where he went off the wall, in my opinion. He just changed, and I don't know what it was. But I actually, I joined his live like I would, just chat with him, and he freaked out on me. He's like, he's cussing at me, swearing at me, telling me to get out of his live, that I was stealing his viewers. I mean, his viewers, and I just like, dude, you're off the wall. So anyways, at that point, I just kind of like, all right, this is the kind of stuff I've moved here from to get away from. So I just basically, I just kind of disconnected from him. I have no idea what's going on. And this doesn't surprise me given what I saw firsthand from the just unstable behavior, right? And the thing about that is that, dude, and I say this all the time, guys, this isn't Kansas, right? This isn't, you gotta be careful. There's a saying that your life is as much as a rooster, and it's 500 pesos, and things can change fast. Now, this isn't a dangerous society, provided that you are a respectful, decent human being. If you are not that, this can be a very very dangerous place to be, right? And so I don't know what's going on with him, but nothing would surprise me given my experiences with him. I mean, I wish the guy luck, man. I really do. And he's not the only one. I mean, you really have to look as a YouTuber, putting yourself out there. If you are not liked by the country that you're in, man, you should look to change who you're being on camera. It's just so there's a lot of those guys. There's a lot of them out there that just really have to be careful. But I mean, I wish everyone the best. I wish him the best. I hope he is okay. I really do, really do. Great info on the city transport. I would like to get a scooter, but for groceries, I'd rather use transport. Yeah, truth be told, especially here in Cebu City, unless you are highly skilled motorist in city driving, I would not recommend it. I would not. And even then, it's just going to take some practice. And there's no reason you can get around for less than $1 or $2 just to kind of get around the city. Now, I ride around the city a little bit, but I do it on like the weekends. I don't try to ride around rush hour. So yeah, and in that in general, I try not to. The traffic here in Cebu City, there's a lot of talk about the traffic in Cebu City, but honestly, as a guy who lived in the city for most of his life, the traffic here is a non-issue. Look, you don't go out during rush hour, right? And if it's raining during rush hour, you doubly don't go out. So I think if you're just kind of smart about it, like as Westerners who lived in cities, you can kind of navigate here pretty easily in Cebu City anyway. So, and there's just so many other options between Grab and cabs. You can get anywhere for a couple bucks. So, but yeah, but once you get out though, if you're not talking Cebu City, I love motorcycling around. Like I love riding around Camotes, Bantayan Island, even just around Cebu once you get out of the city. I love it. It's a passion of mine. I love motorcycling. But yeah. Dean, be careful. One day you might be thinking this Joe is rubbing your head and she has a practical joke to have someone else stuck in your head without you realizing that.
If anything, he's the one gonna pull out a practical joke on me.
Right. I love to joke. Guys, I love to laugh. I love to joke and play and have fun. I really do. Yeah. So fun. All right. What's Peter saying? October 5th. I'm in Mindanao. Flight leaves Tampa October 3rd. Good for you, brother. I lived in Tampa for a long time. I lived in Anna Maria Island during the 80s. I lived in Bradenton for a little bit. I lived in Ruskin. Yeah, I'm familiar with that area, man. Good for you, man. Good for you, Peter. Yeah, I hope all goes well for you. Where about you going to Mindanao? You going to CDO? You going to Davao City? Yeah, love Dipolog City. Yeah, let me know, man. Yeah, good stuff, brother. Good. Congratulations. Congratulations. Degal, there's a new upload from Paul in the Philippines talking about JR and JRC. Have you learned the 30 is still being things is still to be decided? Here you learn that the thing is still to be decided. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it's not quite official yet. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I have not watched Old Dogs. I did see that video. It came up in my feed. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, he does the thing with JR. I actually did a video with JRC. They interviewed me and had me on their channel. So guys, I'm a big fan of them. They just do it for you. Here's my passport. Here's my stuff. And they just do it. It's great. I love it. I mean, I don't have to worry about it. They're going to handle it. 3 to 5 days later, I get my passport and stuff back. I mean, it's just really, really simple. Highly recommend them. Good people and friendly people. You got questions you want to talk about, anything visa related. Dude, these guys are great, man. That's their business, right? And they do a good job at it. They really do. John, hey, Chris, I'm close with a family. I'm close with my family and have a 19-year-old daughter. And how have you kept your connection with your family, especially your kids? I hope this is not too personal. John, great question. Great question. Seriously, I love this stuff because this is key and really important because a lot of guys are wondering how we do this, right? So when I looked to come out here, John, it was right after the pandemic. And I looked at my relationships. And, like I said, I was home in my wheelchair by myself. And I'm like, most of my relationships, they're all digital. My family, we would have conversations. We're close, but they're all digital. My stepdaughter, so, I was her dad since diapers. So we were really close. But since the divorce, that relationship was pretty much digital, text messaging, FaceTime, and that kind of stuff. So when I really looked at coming out here, I was like, I can maintain these relationships, and I have, and I really have. And you can. So that would be my coaching around that, John, is like, look, set up these digital relationships. Start having FaceTime if you're not already. Start having these FaceTime conversations with your kids. I mean, seriously, a 19-year-old daughter. How often do you really see her, right? Hardly ever. Maybe passing, and if you guys are still living together, if she's still living with you, then even then, right? I mean, my daughter would come stay with me for the weekends, but I would see her for breakfast for 30 minutes before she was out the door going to work. So, that was one of my, and then just talking to them, having conversations about that. And my daughter, while it was hard for her, and that kind of deal, just having conversations about what this means to me, and then how we can maintain setting up calls ahead of time, just reassuring them that, look, I'm still here. Technology exists where we can very much connect. And then also too, planning on when am I going to go back to see her, and when is she going to come to see me? Just setting those things up so that way they have a sense that you're not, totally, gone, right? If that, I hope that helps, John. What a great question. And no, I think that's not at all too personal in why we're here. So awesome. Yeah, good stuff, John. Hope that works out, and let me know if there's more I can support or help on that. Yeah, really cool. Peter asked, the mountain place was pretty cool. The mountain views is what took my breath away and made me decide to move there next year. Peter, the mountain destinations are something that I feel is kind of this unknown for Westerners. We just don't, when we think of the Philippines, we think of the beach, we think of islands. I didn't necessarily, for me anyways, I didn't necessarily think of a mountain destination, and it is. There's a lot of talk also too about Baguio and the northern Luzon area, but the mountains are everywhere, for the most part, right? And you can get up out of elevation. You don't have to go to northern Luzon to get up out of elevation. You do it right here in Cebu. Obviously in Dumaguete, you got Valencia. So it is a pretty mountainous area. You're not talking big peaks, right? Like, I think the elevation, was 2,800 feet. So, not big stuff, but, not like Colorado anyways, right? Where you got 14,000 feet. Peaks and above, but yeah, no, I agree, and just so different too, in the fact that they're palm and they're so like rainforest, and yeah, I agree, and it's something that Joe and I are really passionate about, getting up in the mountains. She loves the mountains, and so we're going to be doing a lot of that kind of stuff, looking at trying to get into camping. Although sleeping on the ground as a 52-year-old guy doesn't sound like the best thing. But yeah, we're going to do a lot more on that, Peter. Great. Good stuff. Timothy, over 50, it's 10,000. Does it need to be an interest-free account? I'm going to reach back out to JRC. I think, Tim, though, I think you have to have some kind of pension with that. And if you don't, so basically over 50 and have no official pension yet, I'm living off cash, I think I need 20,000. So I could be wrong. I'll reach back out to JRC and take a look. I mean, you can also use a property for that, but I don't really plan on buying right now. But yeah, good stuff. And honestly, the tourist visa is fine. I mean, I really don't have a problem being here on the tourist visa. I don't. Truth be told, Chris, the mobility stuff sucks, but man, it's part of getting older. You got to stop lifting heavy and switch to keto fasting for food allergies. Yeah, getting old sucks. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I feel pretty good for my age, and a lot of it too is being here and focusing on and having the time to focus on that. Living in the West, working 50, 60 hours a week, traveling from city to city. I did IT support for a law firm. I was in, a lot of traveling for what I did. It's hard. It really is hard to maintain a healthy lifestyle in that environment. So here, that's what I'm able to focus on. I'm able to focus on my running. I'm able to focus on, strength training, the diet. I still kind of eat whatever. We eat ice cream, every day. Gelato. But yeah, no, it's good. And I think that's one of the benefits too for us coming here younger, when we're in our 50s, and we can maybe turn some things around with our health and well-being, getting out here now and really focusing on those things. I think is key for us, right? Men and women, definitely. JD Travels, I'm retired military. If I decide to stay long term, I'll check check out the SRRV. JD, it is an exceptional deal for retired military. 1,500 US in a bank, and then you just you refresh that annually. Yeah, it's a really really great deal for military folks. So, and hey, and you know, really, brother, thank you for your service and that kind of deal. So yeah, thank you, Matt, on that. And you, yeah, if you're planning on staying here long term, it is a great way to go. Yeah. Let's see. Peter says Brunei is on top of my list. Where's that at, Joe?
The what? The now what?
Yeah. Let's look up real quick. BANAUAE.
Terraces.
You know, Philippines. Okay. Yeah, that looks like Luzon, right? Yeah, Luzon up in the mountains. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really beautiful. That looks great. Yeah, the rice terraces up there, I definitely want to check out at some point. I don't know when I'll get to Luzon. You know, if anything, I might do a weekend trip out to Manila. My buddy, John, the attorney here, employment attorney here, was telling me about a Weezer concert in Manila that we might kind of swing by. So I do see a trip to Manila, probably in maybe before even the end of the year. But northern Luzon, I want to spend some time up. You know, I like the idea of slow rural travel. I don't want to bounce around, you know, kind of the city to city. I want to pick a destination and spend a week there, and really dive into what's there and film it and that kind of deal. So, but yeah, I want to get up to northern Luzon. Yeah, noted. JRC. Yeah, JRC are those guys, like J like Juliet, R Robert, C Charlie, JRC. Yeah, I highly recommend those guys. Yeah. Looking forward to seeing Bohol and Siquijor. It's on my itinerary. Yeah, me too. So I was in my scouting trip that I did actually a year ago. A year ago today, I was here in the Philippines, and that was my scouting trip. So I went out to Bohol. Beautiful, loved it. Yeah, I'm excited to go back to Bohol. Never been to Siquijor. I'm really excited to see Siquijor as well. Where are the saltwater crocodiles? So JD, I was just asking my buddy John about that. So the saltwater crocodiles, for the most part, here in the Philippines, aren't around too much. I think they might be in some areas, but for the most part, they're not. They were pretty much hunted out and kind of removed from what I understand. So yeah, not too abundant anymore, like they were 100 years ago or so, maybe even less. I don't know when, but I was just asking that question. Have you or Joe been to Surigao City? And do you guys have any insights on that city? Dean, I have not been. It is on my list. You know, the northeastern part of Mindanao, right? Yeah, love to go. Love to go. Insights as far as, you know, a safe, beautiful city to go see. Yeah, man, absolutely. That whole region, CDO, yeah, northeastern Mindanao seems great. I think there's a lot for us to do there. I think there's a lot of good opportunities there. So yeah, absolutely, Dean. My daughter visited Siquijor last year. When she came back, she was able to ride a broom. Oh, it's funny, brother. You know, I'm not super superstitious or any of that stuff, but you know, Joe's been, you know, when we talked about going there, she was like, why are we going there? You know, she's got some serious hesitation to go there. And her, like, yeah, go ahead.
I've heard stories about it, so I'm very hesitant, but also curious. I mean, I don't gonna believe entirely about the stories until I get to experience it myself. But yeah, we really have to be careful, and it doesn't just in Siquijor. It applies to everywhere you go. You know, you be careful where you eat, what you eat, so people you meet. So yeah.
Yeah, and there's certain. So she was telling me there's certain trees you want to stay away from.
Yeah.
What's the name of that tree?
Baliti tree.
Yeah, you want to stay away from these trees because they are known to what, harbor evil spirits or
yeah, something like that.
Okay. So we'll be talking a lot about Siquijor and that aspect of it. To me, it's, you know, I you know, as a Westerner, as an American, you know, I have different thoughts about that kind of stuff, but also I'm interested, right? Like I'm not completely dismissive of it either. You know, not at all, really. I'm more of an interest than anything. So it'll be an aspect of our travel for sure, and talking about that side of it. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Peter says, we have to meet. My dad was a pilot, Learjets. Yeah, Gulfstreams. I can't fly. I almost crashed, and that was not for me. Yeah, my dad flew. He flew little Cessna planes. So my folks got divorced when I was really young, and my dad lived in Iowa, and we were in South Dakota. So we used to fly kind of back and forth on stuff. So that was fun flying around. And then in the early '80s, late '70s, getting a pilot's license was really easy and affordable. So, but yeah, so fun. Timothy, I flew a Cessna in Bora Bora. Lots of fun. 28-year-old instructor who had me buzzing over a cruise ship. Oh, you rock star, man. A few mountains also. Touch and go. Maybe not as safe if I'm the pilot. Oh, Timothy, good for you, brother. What a life, right? What a life. What a life. So incredible. Yes, Joe, big smiley face. Yeah, say hi to Jasperger when you visit Bohol. Oh, is he there? Oh gosh, I hope not. Anyways, oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, thank you about Lete. Greetings from Vancouver. Yeah, man, I'm a Filipino Canadian and will be retiring soon and looking for a place to stay during the winter months. Well, come to Cebu, dude. That's what I would say. I would say come to Cebu. From Vancouver, you're used to a bigger city. Yeah, man. Yeah. Good for you, man. Good for you. I would say come to Cebu. John, Mayang Buntag, Magada Higala. What's that mean, Joe? Mayang Buntag, Maga Higala.
Higala is like everyone.
Okay, yeah, everyone. All right, cool. Yeah, thanks, brother. Hope you're good there. Thanks again for yesterday, showing me around the neighborhoods. I'm really excited about kind of next areas and that kind of stuff. So, and also too that neighborhood that you introduced us to, that Cordon. El Corso. Man, we're going to be doing a video on that, guys. Just this really spectacular water area with a bunch of restaurants and eateries and malls, and really cool area that we're gonna, as soon as we get the camera back, we're gonna shoot on that. Yeah. Truth be told, I've been working in IT for 25 years now, but I work 3 nights per week, 12-hour shifts. Yes, it's stressful. Can't wait to retire. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I worked in IT industry for that long and in the legal side, which was great. I actually really loved working with the attorneys and paralegals and staff. So, but I hear you, dude. If you're remote, there's a lot of guys who are here working those jobs remote. No sense living in the West, right? And paying that cost of living. Make that wage here in the Philippines. That's what I would do, brother. If you're able to, come on out now, man. Make that money. Yes, Joe, smiley face, Joe. Are you still voting in the U.S.? When I had the brown passport, I could vote at the embassy. Not sure. I'll have to check at that, Timothy. I'm not sure. I haven't thought about that. I'll look into that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I know what you mean about the politics. It's equally bad here in the UK. I would love to move to the Philippines when I do. Come to your neck of woods and buy you and Joe dinner. Yeah, man. Come on, Dean. Come on down. It's time, man. It's time. Cliff, hey, Chris and Joe. Love your stuff. Nice to subscribe to your channel. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Above the fray. Nice to subscribe to the channel. Above the fray. Okay, I could check that out. Keep up the quality work. I've heard that you spent 15 years on the Florida Gulf. Where about? I'm just outside of Tampa. Yeah, Cliff. So I moved to Anna Maria Island in the mid 80s. I lived out there in the 80s. I also lived in Brandon, Florida, just outside, Anna Maria. And then I was in Bradenton, Florida. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Anna Maria Island, Bradenton. And then I moved to Tampa area and lived in Tampa area, like Ruskin, Brandon. I went to Hillsborough Community College there in Brandon. So yeah, I spent some time in that area in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I loved it. It's great. I don't mind it so much. And that's kind of my, if I need to leave the Philippines, if I need to come back to the US, that's actually probably where I'd go. I don't see that happening, but that's kind of my plan if things went really bad for whatever reason, right? Whatever, things can happen. Florida would be where I go for many reasons. Just easy for me to live. I'm used to the weather. I don't need to buy a winter wardrobe, right? So yeah, no, I'm a fan. I have a grab with a US number. Can I have grab with a US number? I don't think so, Tim. I think it's one of those apps that you got to set up when you get here. Grab and then Gcash. Those two you have to. I think you have to wait till you get here. And really key, like you want to set those up pretty quick. They're both really make your life easy here in the Philippines. Mark, I didn't see the neighborhood video with the different places needed to get up and running. Okay, Globe, could you name it and I'll look? And yes, Sikihor is a dark place. Okay, we'll be careful in Sikihor. All right, we'll be careful. Joe, what's the name of that video? Can you look it up and post it, the video? If not, Mark, let's see. Yeah, we'll find it. Joe's going to see if she can find it.
What video?
It's the Cebu Business Park area. Yeah, let's see if you can locate that, Joe, and then we'll Joe can post maybe a link to it or what it is. I did it a while ago. I did it a little bit of a while ago, but it does go over the neighborhood and it talks also about the mall and kind of the perspective really from the Quest Hotel. Yeah, we'll find it for you, Mark. Not to get in your personal business, how were you able to retire at 52? So Ryan, I had some cash. So when I got divorced in 2019, I had to sell my house and really kind of pay off the divorce. But I also was able to, I had some cash left over from that that I was able to invest and make a little bit of money about that, around that. I got really lucky in my timing, right? Like, yeah, I had to pay out a lot of money in my divorce, but also too, it was March of 2019, I think March 2019. And if anyone knows the stock market, what happened right then is it dropped, right? Like big time. And so I bought right there at the bottom and then it went right back up. So I like almost doubled my money in that regard, which is pretty much what I had to pay for the divorce. So karma kind of worked that way. And so I had some cash that I was sitting on. And then I had my 401k and retirement stuff that I can't touch till I'm 59 and a half. But, from selling my house and paying off the divorce, I had this chunk of cash that I'm using to get me to 59 and a half. And once I get to 59 and a half, I'm fine. Between Social Security and 401k, dude, I'll be good. So what I'm trying to do as a side hustle also to maybe extend my cash is to do YouTube. So am I doing this to survive? Not really. Am I doing YouTube to have a better quality of life here in the Philippines? Yeah, probably. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do. And if I need to, what I would do, if for some reason, because I've got a lot of money still tied up in investments, and if the markets go like that, and I don't make any money with YouTube, then I could go back to IT work and do that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I was looking to do. But I think if anyone, Ryan, if you're looking to come out here, anyone's looking to come out here, if you can find a job where you can work remotely and make like 30,000 US a year, which is nothing, right? If you can find a job where you can work remotely, and also too, you want some flexibility of when, because you don't really want to work United States time zone because it's the exact opposite on the side of the planet, right? So if you can create that dynamic in a career, you can come here now and then, make 36 a year and cover all your expenses and then, maybe even pocket some cash. That would be a way to come now. But yeah, that's how I did it at this age. Is I was sitting on some cash and just pulled the plug, and then with my YouTube stuff, hopefully that kind of covers the gaps because it is pretty close. My cash, I've got to live on it for 8 years. So yeah, and traveling around like we're doing now is pulling more into that budget. But I'm hoping that YouTube starts to kind of balance that out a little bit with some cash. I'm not looking to get rich off YouTube. If I can make 1,000 to 2,000 a month on YouTube, which I think is doable with this channel and what I'm up to and what I'm creating, I'm going to be just great. So nice to know about the power outage. I will be able to play lots of video games, no interruptions. Yes. Yeah, I brought my Xbox with me. That was one of the things when I was recovering from my accident. I actually was able to get my hands on a brand new Xbox. So yeah, I hear you, man. It's a good distraction. I don't have any time right now to do that kind of stuff, but it's a distraction every now and then. It's kind of fun. Yeah, be on the ground. Yeah, be on the ground. What did I miss there, Dean? Be on the ground so Chris and Joe accidentally lose grip if you fall. You'll be your hero and catch her. Yes. Yeah, I'm her hero. I'm catching her now. Yeah, too funny. Jasper stuff I earned. Honest, I would have done the same at 50. We don't have time for this. Yeah, have a great life. Have fun. This is what we want. Absolutely, brother. I mean, that's why I came out here, right? I came out here to escape the just all that drama and hate of the culture there. You know, I just why would I come here and just reinsert myself into all that stuff? You know, I'm here to create community. I'm here to create, you know, friendships, relationships, and that kind of stuff. And you know, it's completely opposite of what I want to do, and I get it, right? You know, we come here and sometimes we have a hard time letting go of that Western way of thinking and being, and I just wanted nothing to do with it, right? And so yeah, really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. No, and I honestly I feel bad for the kid. I do. I feel bad for being over here and living in this culture and society and just bringing all that garbage with you. I mean, I do, man. I want people to have a great life. I do. I don't wish bad for people. I don't. And I wish him the best. You know, I really do. Mike's Philippines retirement. What's up, brother? What's up, Mike and Janet? Janet and I joined watching your live stream. Good job, Chris. Say hi to Joe.
Hi, Mike and Janet. Thank you
She's
for
here.
watching.
Yes, thanks for being here, guys. Hope all is good there. We were looking to be in Dumaguete, but so honestly, what happened for us is we were looking to go to Sikihor, and we decided to route our trip through Bohol down to Sikihor versus drive down to Dumaguete to get over to Sikihor. So we were looking to be over by where you guys are at and be in the Dumaguete, but probably not on this trip. But coming soon, we're gonna hit Duma soon. But yeah, for sure, look us up when you guys get back here to Cebu, because I think you're going to be back here around the first of the month. So Timothy, yes, sorry, 800 pension, my bad. I have a bit more than that. Yeah, dude. You know, I think if you can get in that 2,000 range, it's just safer. I mean, do guys live here on like peanuts? Yes, they do. I know a guy that lives on nothing, man. I mean, he's living on nothing. Can you do it? Yeah, you can do it. But do you really want to? No. I mean, I wouldn't, man. I wanna travel. I want to see things. I want to do things. I want to be out. I want to eat at restaurants. Joe and I go to the movies. I mean, we just do whatever, right? You know, if I had to really like live in a poverty, like a Filipino lifestyle, I would stay in the United States and work. Or like I was coaching the gentleman earlier, get a job here, living here, making United States wages, or even at least 30,000 a year, right? That would be my deal. John, I have heard that travel to the Philippines and lodging during the holidays make it difficult to find lodging. Easter 24 March. Yep. Are there any holidays to consider in April when traveling? Yeah, Holy Week. You're right, John. That first week of Holy Week can be a bad week to travel on some of these popular like Boracay and stuff like that, because everyone's going there. Everyone from Manila is going to Boracay. So yeah, that Holy Week can be bad, which is Easter Sunday. That whole week. That's about this. Sinulog, the third Sunday in Cebu in January. I think it's the third Sunday. That is a bad time to come to here to Cebu. Millions of people come here to the city for that festival. Yeah, I think those are the only times that are standing out for me. Joey, you think of anything else or no?
Um,
Of bad times to travel here?
yeah, bad time travel. Holy Week, Sinolog, uh, Christmas. Yeah,
Christmas can be busy.
yeah, it can be busy.
Okay. Were you able to find that video?
Yes, I already.
Oh, did
put
you
up
link
the
it?
link.
All right, sweet. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right, yeah. All right, cool. JD, are you one and the same? JD, are you one and the same from the ELE Moon vlog? Oh, maybe talking to someone else who's here in the chat? Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I don't recognize it. Chris, really enjoying your vlogs and recent success. Great stuff. Has Joe tried cooking dried fish in your apartment yet?
No, I don't think Chris would like that to cook dried fish here. So no, I haven't.
Yeah, she hasn't tried. But guys, I eat whatever. I mean, a lot of people make a deal of the food. Dude, I don't know, man. I think I got guy nose. You know, I don't really smell that well.
Yeah, yeah. So
But I eat whatever. So I've had dried fish. I don't mind it. You know, now making it in the house, yeah, that might be a different story.
yeah, that might be.
That might be a different story.
We might get complaints from other rooms though.
The neighbors, yeah,
the neighbors.
But yeah,
Definitely.
no, it hasn't been too big of a deal so far. Yeah. So all right, just making sure I didn't skip over anything. Laura says currency exchange at the airport and at any airport is not good at all. If in Cebu, I'd rather go to Robinson's Galleria. They have a really nice location located in exchange currency plate. Yeah, very nice, good rates. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I've done the metro and the mall. I feel like just checking on time, 9:47. All right, a little over 15 minutes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What I would do if you're coming to the airport, maybe get maybe 2,000 pesos, right? What are we talking? 20 bucks, 40 bucks, maybe exchange 50 US dollars at the airport. That way you've got plenty of cash to get you through a day or two easily. You can get your food, you can get your cabs, you can all that stuff. Exchange 50, but the bulkier stuff, wait until you can get some better exchange rates. Absolutely. I think that's great advice too. And then, like I said, I brought 5,000 US with me. I did not carry that around with me. Well, I did obviously when I was flying here, but then when I got to my Airbnb, I secured it, and then I would just cash whatever 1,000 US at a time. I'd go like the Metro, stuff like that, which is the grocery store, and do that kind of exchange rate. But you're right. Maybe do 50 US in the airport. That would be about it. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for that. Yeah, Saturn asks, what about getting a SIM phone plan at the airport? Also a ripoff. Yeah, Saturn. What I would do, sorry, just reading down a little bit. What I would do on that is because I know it's a little bit. Look, we're connected to our phones, and traveling here and not having a phone is dicey, right? And you're not going to have Wi-Fi service out there. You just don't. It's not like the West where there's Wi-Fi everywhere. So what I would do if you that would be your next morning number one deal is you get here and you cash in some money in the next morning, and then you go to Globe. If you're coming to Cebu, probably Globe or whatever. Go to Globe and get your stuff. I did a 1 year contract, and just because this was home for me and I knew it, and then I didn't have to worry about the registration, the SIM stuff. Um, that's what I would do with that. I wouldn't do that at the airport either. I would just go to the Globe store here in the mall the next morning. And if you get on Wi-Fi, hopefully your Airbnb that you're staying at or your hotel will have Wi-Fi. But yeah, that's how I'd run it. John, let's talk about Sikihor and the witches next time we meet. I'll tell you about that. Yeah, so you're the one too that told me about the trees and how there's some trees that are supposed to harbor some spirits and stuff. But John, I'm not joking. Joe's mom was a little bit upset with her. Like, what are you doing going there?
Yeah,
And
she got mad.
yeah, she got mad. So it's a real deal. And so I'm gonna be careful. That's for sure. You know, and yeah, but it'll be fun though. And it'll be a good time. And and I think on a lot of that stuff, just being a good human, I think goes a long way.
Yeah,
And
just respect the place and the
yeah,
people in
right,
City Hall to
right,
avoid problems.
right. Just be a good guy. When you come here, be a good human. And I think you're great.
Yeah, don't bring the US here. You moved for a reason. Why are you bringing all the US stuff in Philippines? I mean, what's the use of moving here if you're just gonna bring it? Stay in US, okay? So don't ruin it for the good people, for the ones who has good intentions here.
Right on, Joe.
Right.
Right on, Joe. I mean, right, right, right. Joe says, I'm making my second visit next month and definitely getting a motorbike. Any thoughts about getting a car or a truck for those longer trips around the islands? Yeah, Joe. So we talked a little bit about this. If you're in the city, especially if you're in Manila, Cebu, you know, I, if you've got the finances for it, which sounds like you do, because you're talking about getting a car and a bike, dude, just get around on cabs and stuff. Yeah, that's what I would do in the city. But if you're looking to go out, I love motors. I'm a motorcyclist. I love it, right? It almost killed me once, and I'm back on it again. I love it. So I get it, especially cruising around the islands. Yeah, you can get a motorcycle. The registration process takes a little time. Be mindful of that, like a couple months, right? 2 to 3 months. But yeah, you can get a car or a truck too. I know several foreigners who are getting cars and have cars. You just want to be careful about that. Driving around. I know a guy in Balaban who's gotten scammed a couple times. He's gotten in accidents, and then the scooter driver is now trying to sue him for a lot of stuff. So just be careful of that. Make sure you've got insurance when you buy the car. Talk about insurance. Maybe look at getting dash cams to record your stuff. There's a lot of that technology here. The cab drivers all have dash cams. A lot of them do. So yeah, so there's some things around that, some nuances, Joe, that you want to be mindful of. Also to if you're a good city driver, motorcycle or car, you'll be okay with some adjustments. I wouldn't jump in full bore. I mean, now I feel pretty comfortable riding my motorcycle around the city, and well, I think I could do a car as well. But yeah, it's an adjustment. No, it's a little different, but yeah, you can, yeah, right on, man. Right on. Yeah, good stuff, Joe. Mark says the spiritual world is real, very real. I would avoid it myself. Yeah, Mark, I'm with you. I'm not at all dismissive about the warnings and stuff that we've got around Sikihor. But I do think being mindful and respectful, and being away from some of these areas that are a little more prone to that, I think we can still navigate it and have a good time out there. I really do. Yeah. I can't come yet. I am a caregiver, yeah, for my mother who is 80. But when the time comes, I have family, home to sell, and some investments. Yep, yeah, brother, I hear you. Yep, well, good for you. I hope all is good there, man. I hear you. Yep, yeah, come out and do some trips. John, check out the local holidays in a place where you're arriving for some festivals going on. Yeah, for example, Cebu. Yep, Christmas, Sinulog, right on. Yep, I'm a little bit behind in the comments, but I think we're right on. I have Grab with my U.S. number. Used it overseas travel. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks, Tim. So you got your Grab set up with your U.S. number and it's worked well. Okay. And there's the link to that video. That who was that? Was that Mark that was asking? Sorry, I forgot who that was asking. So this will tell you this. So this video here will navigate you around the Cebu Business Park, from the perspective from the Quest Hotel, which is what a lot of people do. But this is really, especially Globe and JRC, dude. Those two places took me forever to find, forever. And I point out right where they're at, and yeah, also too talks about the metro and kind of what that is. It's like your big Kmart with a grocery store, and if you're moving to the Cebu Business Park, the metro is massive as far as getting your sheets, your towels, your bed, your groceries. On the basement of the metro is a hardware store. So yeah, this video really kind of goes in and it shows you the food court, the movie theaters. Yeah, really good video if you're coming to Cebu Business Park. I haven't done one yet on IT Park, but I should to help you guys out who are going to IT Park, because it's set up very similar there. Where are your restaurants, where's the mall, where are your groceries, that kind of deal. So, Mike, hey, how's it going? Yeah, thanks for being here. Mark, yeah, good stuff, Mark. I'm glad you got that. It'll be really. I think it's helpful for guys who are coming here, and I made that just because of my own personal struggles and what I saw being here, as well as my buddy Dan. And he was like, "Dude, where's this stuff at?" And there was 2 or 3 foreigners right off the bat that I was like, "All right, you got 10 minutes? Let's walk around really quick and let me show you where all this stuff is at." And all of them were like, so yeah, that's why I kind of made that video. Cliff, sorry, I meant your channel is above the fray. Okay, yeah, no worries, dude. Not a big fan of the drama. Also, yep, I'm in Florida and split my time between Largo and the villages. I'm retired now. Best case 6 months, worst case, yeah, 12 months. All right, cool, man. Yeah, no, I know Largo. Yeah, no worries, and thanks, man. I really appreciate everyone and kind words and support for the channel. I mean, this is great. I love it too. It's just fun for me. It's good stuff. I really do. I love it. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that, girl. Once I upgrade my computer equipment, I'm thinking about trying. Okay, Fiverr. Yep, I know Fiverr. Once I hit 2 to 3 a month consistent basements, I'll make the move. If that doesn't work, I'll look for alternatives. Yeah. Trying Fiverr for doing some work on there. I've used their services. Yep. Yeah. Right on, Michael. That's smart, man. Smart. Yeah, good for you, dude. Yeah, really, really excited for you. You're doing it the right way. If you're a young guy, which looks like you probably are, and you're looking to get out here sooner versus later, really smart, man. Really smart. Start making that income now. Once you're consistently making it, get on out and do that, because you can live here very nicely. Very, very, very nice lifestyle on 36 a year, very easily. Yeah, good for you, brother. Yeah. Dean, with the Xbox, are the plug sockets different? Do you have to transfer a plug so you can get around different sockets? So electronics in general, I've only had one or two things that I brought over that were a problem, but everything else plugs in. So what you're going to want, though, the 3-prong plug items that you have, you're going to want an adapter for that. But 2-prong stuff has worked just fine for me. I've had no issues on 2-prong stuff. 3-prong stuff, there's not all outlets have 3-prong. So yeah, but the couple of things that didn't work, I've actually had 3 things now. I have a Ninja mixer that's not working. I had some hair clippers that weren't working, that really I just used to shave my eyebrows and my chest sometimes. But what? Oh, and the air filter system. Those things didn't work. But like all my laptop stuff, my computer stuff, all my chargers, my vacuum. I have a robot vacuum. Yeah, all that stuff. It works just fine. So, but for most people, you're not going to be bringing that anyways. But all my computer stuff has worked just fine. Yeah, you can exchange US dollar at the US at any money center bank before you leave. Okay, yeah, just keep under 50,000 pesos before that. Timothy, great advice. Why not get a couple thousand pesos? I would say get 50 US. What's 50 US dollars? Let me look that up real quick. I live in the world of pesos now, and 50, yeah, so that's like 3,000 pesos, dude. If you can get 3,000 pesos and bring that with you, more than. But also too, you don't want 3 bills. Get some hundreds. At least have some hundreds. Get some 500s. Because if taxi cab, you give them 1,000 pesos, they're gonna look at you and smile and say, "I don't have change," and you just given a guy a nice big tip, right? So, but yeah, I would bring 50 US, bring around 3,000 pesos with you, and have different bills. Have hundreds, have 500s. If you can have 500s and hundreds, all of it, that would be the ideal. But that might be a little bit of a challenging. Yeah, good stuff, Tim. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, the fried fish question was hilarious. The dried fish, yes. Gosh, making dried fish in the house. They actually have, they have things called dirty kitchens here for that kind of reason. Well, mainly also too to keep the heat out of the house, right? But also too to keep the smells and stuff. Yeah, a lot of houses, Filipino houses, will have dirty kitchens, and because a lot of them too, they'll cook their food with a fire, and so yeah, dirty kitchens are a thing here, and really beneficial. Truth be told, Joe is right. Why bring the Western world? Never hear people in Canada are so self-centered and selfish. Drives me crazy. PS for the rest of my life. I'm here, man. It's a one-way ticket for me. I knew it coming over here. It scared the crap out of me, honestly, initially. But I have no regrets. I love my life. I really do. I mean, come on, man. You guys watch. I mean, where would I have that? And I mean all of it, right? I mean the travel, the leisure, the Joe. I mean, come on, 30-year-old beautiful girlfriend who adores me. I mean, seriously, I'm in paradise, man. I'm loving, absolutely love my. It blows me away. It just blows me away. Oh man, yeah, good stuff. When Joe said when she was going to stay and preach, Joe preached. I know. Oh, amazing, right? Oh man, hold on, I need some water. Mm. Mm. All right, Dean. Yes, when Joe said he's going to stay, yeah, I know it. So true, right? I mean, just amazing what it's like to be here in this country. Yeah, it moves me, right? It moves me if it's not obvious. Because we just look at what our lives are in the West and what we had and what we're up against and just the drama and the chaos, and then we're here. It's just so opposite, you know. Mm. Come, guys, seriously. Yeah. Hey, Chris and Joe, great travel vids and love the drone views. Starting in Thailand in December, then in the Cebu area for a weekend. Hope to grab a coffee with you. Yeah, man, look us up. We should be around here. We're going to be moving around that time, probably. Maybe we extend here, but I doubt it. But yeah, no, look us up, man. You love we love meeting people, love people who are fans of the channel and meeting up with them. We meet them all the time. Everyone has just been great. The more people I meet, the more excited I am to meet more. And then just helping people in this transition coming here is a big part of what I want to create. Creating a community, doing doing monthly trips. Like I said, we're gonna be doing Sikihor. We're going to Camotes, and we're asking whoever wants to come. Just to kind of get people out, because getting here in Cebu and getting in the Philippines is massive, and then getting used to doing trips and stuff like that is another aspect of it. So yeah, no, thanks, man, and yeah, love to meet up when you're here. For sure, look us up. Still a baby. I'm only 22. Yeah, I can see that, dude. You're right on though, man. Brother, if I could be here at your age, living here and living this life for the rest of my life, I mean, you know, it's awesome. Good for you, man. I mean, seriously, good for you. And I hope it works out. Let me know, Michael, if there's anything I can do to hope. I'd like for my boy to come out. I mean, he just got, he's just recently got married actually down there with his girl. So, but yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and it's a struggle for both genders. But I really feel it's a struggle for men. And so I encourage anyone who is just completely unfulfilled in that lifestyle to see what they can do to come over here, and if I can help people in that I'm down, right? When it comes to shaving, I don't have to use about a shaver. I use old school Gillette, assistant, so to speak. I've got some razors, but I've got an electric razor that I like to use, and the clippers I like to use, like, my eyebrows get out like this and stuff, and so it's a way for me to kind of keep things in check, throughout my aging body, as the hair starts to grow, come out of here, but just kind of go everywhere else, right? So, but yeah, it's too funny. I think Philly in the Philippines wife spoke about a dirty kitchen, and those dried fish times, dirty kitchen. It just makes sense here, they really make sense. They're a great way for you to keep the heat and the smell out of your house. And it's kind of like us when we barbecue in the middle of summer. It makes sense. Turn the oven on and that whole deal.
You've seen our dirty kitchen at home?
Yeah.
Back in later, right?
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, it makes sense. And a lot of homes have that. It makes sense. Heads up, people bring their appliances from abroad. Electric currency and the fills is 220 volt. Yeah. Thanks, John. Yep, appreciate that. Yep. Yeah, right on. Yes, John. Some rechargeable, like Chris mentions, are dual voltage. It's stuff that isn't usually dual voltage. Yeah, thanks, Timothy. And thanks for kind of explaining that a little bit more. I do notice that some things worked and some things didn't, but most of my stuff has been just fine. I've had no issues, but not everything. So yeah, thanks, guys. Do you have family members who will visit you in the Philippines soon? Christian's asking. So yeah, one of the things about that I was looking to do is have my daughter come out for college. Now she's still thinking about that, right, and is on the fence about it. But yeah, I would have my daughter would come out and stay. I'm hoping she comes out actually next summer and stays for a little bit, but we'll see. So, but I'm looking to have her come out. Right when we're struggling in the American dream is dead. I definitely keep you posted throughout my journey. Yeah, Michael, good for you, man. Good for you. I hear you. Trust me, I get it, man. It blows me away. Mine will be a one-way ticket as well. You're definitely living the dream. I'm really happy for you, Mark. And then it's scary at first. I'm not gonna lie. It scared the crap out of me coming here. I mean, it was a rough journey. And even when I got here, the first months or couple months or so, it was like, wow, but definitely do a scouting trip, come out, check it out, make sure you can live in the environment. And when you do your scouting trip, don't do the vacation thing, don't bounce around a bunch of different spots and be a touristy. And because then you're going to just see the tourist side, right? Come here. Like if you're going to come and if you're looking to move to Cebu, stay at least a week in Cebu. 2 weeks or whatever, just come and stay here, check it out, walk the streets, see what you feel about it. Right. And then come move. But yeah, I hear you. I hope it happens for you soon, man. Yep. Let's see here. My grandkids are a bit sad I'm moving to the Philippines, but I told them I'd set up Skype so we could talk. Yep, whenever we felt the urge. James another gentleman that I just met, he's got the same deal. You know, he's got his grandkids, and that's a challenge for him as well. And I get that, you know. And but you're right. There's ways to navigate that, and you can do it now. You can, you know, they probably don't live with you now, so you can, you know, you can set up calls with them and chat with them now, so they're kind of used to that. And you know, your kids too probably aren't going to necessarily understand. My folks didn't, you know, my folks did not understand, and now they do. And same with my siblings, they did not understand. You know, where are you going? What the heck? Are you sure you want to live there? So there was a ton of that. And, you know, I was very successful in the United States. I had a 6-figure income. I had a great career. But I just was completely unfulfilled with the society and in many ways, right? So people did not understand, but give them time and they will. You know, my family now, they make comments all the time. Chris, you are happier than I've seen you in decades. And so yeah, but yeah, it's good stuff, man. Good, yeah, it's an adjustment for everybody, but there's some things you could do now with them to create that so that it's not a big issue when you leave, like putting those things in place, those electronic calls and things, you know. Yeah, good stuff, man. To be 22 again, best of everything to you, Michael. Yes and no, Mark, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I could go back to a generation or a decade, my 30s and 40s were really good. You know, my 50s are going okay. I mean, my body's not, it doesn't respond as well as it used to. But my 30s and 40s were great. You know, I'm liking it, and I think that's too one of the big reasons to come out here now and to focus on my health and fitness, and that way I can maybe try to get a little more youthful in that way. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go back to my 20s. I wouldn't want to go back to my 20s. No way. Life was too crazy for me. But my 30s and 40s, you know, I got into my career, things settled down, I bought a home, got married. I really enjoyed my 30s and 40s. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah, George, what's your favorite food that Joe's prepared for you, Chris? It's going to be festive soon in Cebu. Yes, the Burmonts are coming. So she's made a couple of things that I've really enjoyed. And one thing is surprising for me was the soup that she made. What was that soup called, Joe?
Chicken sinigang.
Chicken, yeah.
Chicken sinigang.
Yeah, chicken. That was really lemmy. I enjoyed that, and we've done some crockpot things that I've really enjoyed. And you're right about the festive soon. So Christmas. So they start Christmas like any moment now. I think September. Yeah,
Yeah.
1st of September. Christmas is coming. Like we're gonna start seeing decorations and all of that.
Hearing those Christmas songs.
Christmas songs. It's gonna be a shock.
But yeah, we're planning some trips during the last few months in this year. So I don't know. We're gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
we got some trips coming up, but yeah, the Christmas is coming here. It's really kind of interesting to say that, being that it's August.
we're, yeah, we're probably gonna be celebrating somewhere, but maybe Cebu or I don't know. Depends on the weather because we're trying to avoid the typhoon season.
Right.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, the favorite food, some of the soups that she's made, those right off the bat. But as far as my favorite food in general, there's a lot of stuff that I really like. The mangoes, I just love the mangoes, and some of the desserts and stuff they had. I had this avocado cream pie to die for, and I know it sounds gross, but it really is not. It is super super lemmy. Yeah, there's been a lot of foods here that I've really enjoyed being around. Thanks to my buddy John too, actually, who he's a huge foodie. He loves food. He loves restaurants. He loves good coffee, and he's been taking us around to some of these really really incredible places. Jeff, good morning. Heading back to Chicago tomorrow. Yeah, I'm absolutely devastated. Meeting my Filipina, spending time in El Nido, Manila has been such an amazing experience. Oh, we're engaged. Jeff, congratulations,
congrats.
man.
Wow.
Yeah, good for you, brother. I hope you get back to your
Congrats.
fiance soon. I hope you're able to come home, you know, sell your stuff and come. But congratulations, man. Congratulations on your engagement. That's incredible. Yeah, congratulations, brother. Michael, I've been running the numbers recently, and even 6 figures in the US is not, dude. It wasn't. I was making over six figures, just over, right? I was making just over six figures in the United States, Michael, and I had an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment. I was priced out of the housing market. I couldn't afford a house, you know, dude, dude. Yeah, it's just crazy how expensive stuff has gotten. Now, I could have moved. I could have moved to like Nebraska or Kansas or wherever, but I didn't want to. And then when I looked at where I wanted to go, what's affordable in the United States, I'm like, you know what? What other options do I have? And that's kind of how this really started too. It's just looking at where I could be in the United States and you know, not have to work 60 hours a week to pay for my one bedroom apartment. It's crazy, dude. I know. I'm with you. I hear you, man. I hear you. Good for you though for seeing it so young. You know, aren't the electrical adapters available? I hope so. I'm still not. I'm still concerned about that. I don't want to fry my MacBook. I depend on it. So, Mark, I got my MacBook right here. I've got no issues. Yeah, I'm on my MacBook. I'm plugged in. Yeah, I'm good, man. I've got my USB-C dock with stuff in, so I've got no issues on my MacBook. So you're good there. My iPad, my watch, I'm able to charge my watch. I've got my phone, my iPad, or my MacBook, all those. It's good. It's good here. Yep. Has the ukulele been dusted off? No, it's actually got a lot of dust. Yeah, nothing going on with the uke. Yeah, we've been so busy, and my spare time has been just really trying to improve my YouTube skills and videography and that whole deal. So there hasn't been a lot of free time to pick that thing up. It's sitting right up on my wall up there.
He's always out. He likes to ride a bike.
Yeah, we're out a lot. We're traveling a lot, and when we're home, we're doing stuff. So yeah, hasn't been much activity on the YouTube. Yeah,
more on workout and running.
Yeah, we have a backyard garden and make many fresh smoothies. Oh, dude, yeah, that sounds great, man. Especially if you got a mango tree growing back there. Can make some mango smoothies. Yeah, at Mark, your Mac will be fine. I buy laptops abroad on sale, but yes, adapters and transformers are key. Sorry, I'm losing my voice for a second here. Easy to find. Yeah. Yep. I haven't had any issues with any of my electronics. One second. Yeah, sorry. My voice is getting dry here. I'm talking. I haven't had any issues with my big electronics. A couple of things, but for the most part, yeah, all my Mac stuff is good. So you should be fine there. Yeah. Congratulations, Jeff. Yeah, man. Congratulations on the engagement. That's so cool. James, I'm heading to the Philippines next month. I can't wait. Yes. Good for you, man. Exciting times. Exciting times. Yeah. Yeah, 22. No, I'm happy in my 60s, Mark. I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, like I said, my 30s and 40s were pretty good. My late 30s were great. Yeah, really enjoyed my late 30s. Joe just turned 30 earlier. So, yeah, she's in for some good years, too. The housing here in London is ridiculous, and the mayor and the politics in the UK are utterly useless. And finding solutions for all of us who work hard for our money. Yep. Yeah, dude. I really feel that, for me, when I was looking at this type of stuff, it became to me that there's nothing I could do to make a difference, and what was best for me is to just remove myself from it and to just focus on what do I need to do to make my life great. And that's kind of what I did here is I just removed myself from the chaos and the crazy of the West and just reinserted myself here and really just kind of focusing on being the best version of me that I can be with my health and all that stuff. So that was my recipe for just having a happy life, Yeah. Because, it's kind of like being upset at your football team for not doing something, right? Like, we root as Americans and as, you too for your soccer. But we root for our favorite football team, and we get so passionately involved in it. Like, oh, why didn't you do this or that, or you should have called this play, or you should have drafted this person, and to the point where it just drives us bonkers. Right? And there's nothing we could do about it. They're they're a business, they're running their own thing, and that's what I feel like a lot of the environment is in the United States. We get so worked up on things that we really have no control over. I mean, yeah, in some ways we can, but not really. Not really. I mean, it just ultimately it doesn't matter what we say or do in our voting. I don't know. That's how I feel about it, and I feel like at the end of the day, I'm rooting for a football team that's going to win or fail, and it's to me it got ridiculous, and it's just like, you know what, I just need to pull myself away from it. I need to focus more on my stuff and what is it that I can do to make myself a happier human being. Focus on my health, focus on my well-being, dating and that kind of deal. So it's working out well. I heard that the Xmas lights are amazing during the holidays in the Philippines. They are, Christian. The Ayala Mall here, the terrace, man, just gets done up. I don't know if I posted it in any of my videos. I will coming up though. It's low light and dark, but I'll shoot it with the iPhone and post in the video. It's just beautiful. There is a huge holiday spirit here. In some ways, I think it's bigger here than it is in the West. Yeah. It's really cool. I will set you a challenge: 1 hour at least a week, so Joa can be serenaded. 1 hour at least a week. All right. I'll take that on, Dean. I'll take that on. I got you. 1 hour a week. I'll schedule it out. Oh, too fun, man. Yeah, thank you, brother.
I'll record a video for you.
All right. Yeah, 1 hour a week. Gosh. Yeah, all right. I'm down with that. Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, Timothy. Yep, mangoes, bananas, coconuts are mine. Yes, to name a few what's really good here.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
awesome.
Yeah, John, thank you so much. Yeah, John, what an incredible friend and an asset for me as well, and just helping my transition. I mean, so thank you, brother. I really, you don't know how much you've made this transition easier for me, and so thank you. I appreciate it, man. The mountain video was great. Yeah, no, we enjoyed being up there. It was really beautiful. I got the last video that we're getting ready to publish, I think on Thursday or Friday morning. Loved it up there. Beautiful place. Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely great resort. Just giving you an example, Tim. My sister had a home in Central Ohio that she bought 2014 for $200,000. It's now worth $400,000. Not even 10 years. Middle class. Yeah. No, it's so true, man. Yep. So true. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. Yep. Step out of the matrix. Yes. It's time, guys. It's time, gentlemen. At least it was for me. I mean, and I'm so much happier here. Yep. Oops, I might have skipped over you, James. I'll jump back in a second. My 30s and 40s were also top notch. Yep, since I was 37 when I came here for good. Yeah, good for you. Wow, you did it young too, man. Congratulations, James. Wow, I'm highly impressed that you respond to all of us. Great job. It's funny, I just skipped over you. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, well, it's highly impressive that you respond to all of us. Great job. You're the two most professional liking vloggers in the Philippines. Yeah, thank you. Really, thank you so much. Well, and the other part of it too is, for now, things are really, chat small and doable. But as things grow, it might not be something that can be done. But yeah, no, thank you, James. This is fun for us. We enjoy it. I love this kind of thing. I love connecting and meeting with people. I love that. It was part of who I was in the IT industry, and working with attorneys and staff and stuff. I loved working with people and helping them. In that area, it was in the area of technology. And in this area, it's, people coming to the Philippines and adapting to the culture here and just, making some new friends. I continue to meet amazing, incredible people, from the West and from all over the world. We met a guy from Switzerland, just all over. It's awesome. I love it. I get a lot out of this. So thank you guys. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no worries, Mark. Yeah, your electronics for the most part should be really good. Especially all my Apple stuff has been just fine. Yeah. Yeah, Dean, as someone who's in the working class, I get on the housing market. I pay $980 a month for a studio. Yep. Politicians can be more than, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's expensive all over the world now. It really is. It's yeah. And there's pockets though where we're like here, it's affordable. James, you're a good-looking and charismatic guy, but truth be told, Joe looks. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I was telling her this last night. I said, they're not here to see me, man. They're here to see you. You've seen the subscribers, mostly men. They want to hear me talk about a little bit of stuff, but they would rather hear me say the words, but see you. That's so true, James. And heck, I know it. I'm the same way. She catches me all the time. She said, Chris, why are you staring at me? It's like, well, if you only knew, Joe, if you only knew. Oh, so amazing, brother. Yeah, so funny. Yeah, Dean, situation here in the United States. Yeah, investors buying homes, corporate greed, biggest issue. You know what's really interesting too here, Michael, that I've noticed is there's just this boom of housing. Just, I mean, John and I were driving around, like I was telling earlier. We saw probably, I don't even, maybe 5 different condos that were just being built up, hundreds of units in each one of them. And it's just, housing here is no issue. It's no issue at all. It's just so great to be at. Now it's on the smaller side, right? You know, you're not going to find, like I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo with an office, you know, is what, 1,700 square feet. You know, that was my place in the United States. So trying to find that, I mean, you can, but it's very rare. Most of the places here are a lot smaller. Rooms are a lot smaller. So that's one of the things, but you get used to it. You really do. You get used to it. Once you've serenaded Joe, I want you to put in 2 hours practice to serenade me. Oh, Dean, you bust me out, brother. Too funny. I feel you. No, it is. It's hard all over, man. Scott, have I already missed out on the previous videos of you guys displaying your ukulele skills? No. So my ID though, like my picture, my profile picture is me with a ukulele. And you know, when I took that picture, I was still in my wheelchair, and that was one of the things I wanted to do when I was home for 3 months, letting my body heal. And I did pick up the ukulele, but that was like a year ago, and I haven't really done much with it since. But I really do, and it is a very musical society here in the Philippines, much more than the United States. So much more. Everybody sings. Everyone is in and is so musical here. So it is something I also too, as part of the culture that I want to embrace. So yeah. So I'm thanks, Dean, for supporting me and getting back into that. Yes. All right, brother. All right, let's do it. I'm down, man. I'm down. So fun, guys. Appreciate that, all of it. Serenity is Joe. Secretly is Joe your clickbait? Yes. She is clickbait, man. But she is shy. But all I can say is holy mackerel, gentlemen. Just holy mackerel. If I would have known that, I would have moved here decades ago. When am I going to BGC or Manila? Christian, I don't know when. We don't really have anything planned. I do see a trip. We've got some friends up there. You know, JoJo Smiler, JoJo, she's up there. We've got a couple of friends up there. I know a couple guys up there. I believe Ryan, although my one buddy, he might be in Vietnam now. But yeah, we've got some people up there in Manila, and you know, maybe my John here is he was talking about going to a Weezer show. I think it was in October. We might, you know, there might be some stuff going on in Manila. I'll put something out there if we do go out there. But I want to see it at some point. It's just right now there's a couple other trips that we're looking to do. So yeah, Timothy, I noticed nice condos with prices, but on further investigation, there are so much smaller than U.S. Still reasonable though, but cheaper than here. Yeah, no, they are, and you get used to the smaller space. Like the space here isn't. I mean, granted, yeah, like a 1-bedroom, or you know, maybe even a 2-bedroom, but yeah, no. I like the fact of the availability. I mean, there's just so many places, just tons of places. There's not a shortage. You know, I don't have a conversation around scarcity with housing here. So I like it. We can't afford housing, food, school, medical, and everything else. Yep, books just working to die. Yep. You're right on, brother. And it's interesting that, you know, as a young guy, that's your perspective, because you know, a lot of the guys here who are here have that same way of thinking as well. And you know, also too, seeing the transition that we've seen the West over the past couple of decades just dramatically change. I mean, guys, I mean, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was a great place to be, I feel. And you know, it's just changed. to this what I call a hate culture. You know, it really has, and it's just saddening. And like I said, I felt like for me the best thing to do is to get out, just to get out, just to get away from it. I can't be around that. You know, yeah, there's that holy mackerel. I know. Somebody was saying, Chris, you stopped saying it. You need to bring it back. You know, it's your catchphrase. James, talk about housing. Yes, there are plenty of options, but I worry a little too late in making the move. I foresee prices rising drastically now that we're all going. Yeah, yes and no, James. I think it's still really affordable. I think it's going to be quite some time before. Yes, the prices probably changed since since the pandemic. Yeah, but are they at pre-pandemic levels yet? I don't think so. Right? I still think there are so many options that it's not at where it was right before the pandemic. Um, so I think we're still in a good spot here. I do now. Maybe 10 years from now or 5 years from now, maybe not, maybe not. But even so, I think you're talking about so much more affordable than what we're used to. You know, even so, I mean, you can get a really nice place here for a couple 100,000 US. You can't do that in the US anymore. So maybe that's 300,000 a year from now. Even so, that's still better than what you got in the US, right? So I think it is a little bit there, but not nearly as bad. Just like the inflation too. I think there's some inflation here that's happening, but not even nearly at the level of what we're seeing, and it's still really affordable. You know, right? So yeah, good stuff. Carl, Chris, the vlog you and Joe made in the mountains was breathtaking, so scenic. It was serious eye candy for the nature side. Please make 4 vlogs. Absolutely, Carl. You know, I'm a big fan of nature and outdoors. So is Joe. We plan on doing a lot of stuff like that. Hiking. We want to get up and do some mountain stuff. Absolutely. You know, we're planning trips now, right now, out to Sikihor and going to do a lot more drone stuff out there as well as Bohol. So no, man, right on. We're going to be doing a lot of that as well as city life too. I want to show people not only traveling around, but really just from a perspective of a guy who lives here in Cebu, like what is it like being here? What are your destinations? Where can you go? So in the city, out of the city, I don't want it to be all be travel stuff, right? Simply too, I can't afford to do all that all the time. So I want to show you guys what is it life like in the city too, you know. So and also too, like right up the mountains, like we can go north 45 minutes or so and hit some really cool destinations. So yeah, Carl, more of that coming without a doubt. All that's what the channel is really. I've been living I've been living tiny since 2013 on a sailboat and an RV. Wow, dude, so cool. I'm ready for luxury of the Philippine houses. Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, so we're in a studio, Joe and I. I think it's around 22 square meters. So we are looking to get a little bit bigger, but yeah, that's hilarious, James. Really funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm blessed to have been born in the U.S. Yep, best country in the world. But like we agreed, it's no longer economically viable. You know, you're right, James, and I do. You know, I love my country. I really do. I still love the United States. It saddens me that I feel like I need to get out of it to have a happy, successful life. It does sadden me, but what can I do to really change how things are? There's nothing I can do other than go find a place to live a happy life. You know, and and that's kind of what I'm up to. But do I love my country? Absolutely, man. Am I proud of my country and the innovation and the creation that we are every day? Yes, absolutely. And for me, living where I'm at now is a better fit for me, right? So I hear you, brother. Yeah, really sharp, dude. You're a really sharp kid. I found several studio condos in Cebu for around 18,000 pesos, but my Filipino daughter-in-law said that's too high. But she is not aware of the cost of living rise since the pandemic. Yeah, James, 18,000 pesos. I mean, it depends on where you're at, right? I mean, in the business park and IT park, no, 18,000 pesos is probably a good deal. I'm paying 20,000 for my place. So, but yeah, I think you can get out a little bit, and you can even spend 20,000 on a probably a 2 bedroom. But yeah, no, it just depends on where you're at, James. Really. The random Aussie. Hey, Chris. For me, there's too much to do and to stay inside anyway. Your condo place to chill and sleep, maybe work. Right on, Rant. Right on, man. So much to do here. You can spend multiple lifetimes seeing the sights, go traveling around the islands and really not seeing everything. So you're right on, dude. You're right on. Yeah. Come to the beginning in October, the contract to the place comes to an end. Okay. I'm going to be nomadic squatting to save a lot of money, which will help me saving for the Philippines. Yeah. 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 And sometimes we do. We just have to do whatever we can do to kind of get here. Right. I get it. I understand. When we finish our house, you should pop over. Yeah, man. Absolutely, dude. Let me know. I'm definitely down for traveling around. I'm for sure down for traveling around. Yeah, exactly right. 18,000 isn't bad depending on the location where you're at. And yeah, you don't want to do it. You don't want to get any place from the West. Just come here. Come here, stay here, look at places. You know, what's the recipe that really Gio and Rike probably came up with, right? This isn't mine. But come here, get an Airbnb for a month, and then use that time to find your long-term residence. I believe that advice is spot on, right? Yeah. Yeah, Joe is a holy mackerel times one. She certainly is, dude. She is incredible. It is just, and it's the Filipinos in general. They really line up to who we are and what we want. They just do, man. They want a man to love them, take care of them, be devoted, to be nurturing, kind, loving, and that's what we want. I mean, it's just, dude, it's a perfect fit for us. It really is amazing. Do you think the U.S. will get any better to live or get worse in the future, Christian? I honestly think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I don't, I don't. People don't know how to fix it. They don't. You know, I made this in my original video. You can't fix racist, sexist behavior with racist, sexist behavior. You can't do it, right? You can't. One plus one always equals two. So you've got all this hate. You got men hating women, women hating men. This race hates this race. This political party hates this political party. It's compounding. And the way it seems to be set up is whoever is the squeakiest, whoever is the loudest about their suppression is getting all the attention, right? You've got companies now who are hiring for gender and race, and it's crazy, man. It's absolute craziness. And people have no clue. They're just creating more of it. They're creating more separation, more divide between the sexes, between the races. It's not going to get any better until I don't know when, if at all. I don't know. Thankfully, here in the Philippines, those are all conversations I have nothing to deal with. They're just not there. They're not. And I'm just so thankful and grateful for that. Like none of that stuff is here. You know, I just worry about what am I going to do today? You know, how am I going to, have fun with my girlfriend and travel around? None of that stuff is even here. You don't have the racial stuff. You don't have the gender stuff. None of that. It's not here. Yeah. Yeah. Really incredible. Yeah, man. Jack, I thought I heard you say something about visiting El Nido. If you do, hit me up. I know some folks out there that might be able to get you good deals on a scooter. Okay, yeah, boat tour and such. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, appreciate that. At some point, we're gonna hit Palawan. We'll hit El Nido. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe around November. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. In the same mindset as you, Michael Norris, I love my country and think it's the best, but like yours, overcome. Yeah, financial, and just financial is one aspect, but just the overall hate is just something I can't be around. Not anymore. I can't do it anymore. Life's too short to be the constant way of living. I'm done with that. I disowned two of my friends who I've known over 50 years. Right, man. Right. It's just, man, it's time to get away from that, Tim. It's time to get away from the hate that we have towards each other, to genders and race. I mean, my ex-wife, she was from Mexico, right? She's Latina, and I've had a lot of Hispanic friends. My former boss was African American. I'm not racist at all or sexist or any of that, but yet, as a white guy in his 50s, I'm getting hit with all this hate. It's just, man, dude, I had to get away, man. And like I said, none of that is here. If anything, Tim, I feel more American here. Like I connect more with Americans, African Americans, white American, whatever, right? I'm connecting with everybody based on the fact that we're Americans, right? It's just, it's really, someone else said that too. Another blogger was talking about how he actually feels more American here than he did living there. Really, really interesting. But I'm with you. And thankfully, none of that exists here. None of that hate towards gender, none of that hate towards race or any of that is here. It's just not. It's so beautiful. I love it. Yeah, James says I'm looking forward to being disconnected from all the Western BS, dude. And it is. I have no idea what's going on. None. And love it. And just love it. I love that about living here. Taco Nomad. I bought a condo in Cebu a few years ago for a future retirement escape. Yep. Few winners and escape. Yep. Canadian winners a few months ago. Got it. But I'm going to take an early retirement and join you in a full month. Yes. Taco Nomad, look me up, brother, when you get here. You're smart. Yeah, done. Future episode idea: scooter life in the Philippines. Okay, yeah, yeah. I love riding around. I've got a, and I do think with my Royal Enfield, it being a really popular machine here in the Philippines and just globally. So that could be another aspect of the channel that I plan on doing. Yeah, amen. Well, guys, we've been at it for 2.5 hours. I need to wet my whistle, use the restroom. So I'm going to call it here. Just a reminder that we are going to be kicking back the lives to 7 a.m. Manila time, which will be 7 a.m. Eastern time. So there will be a change in the time. I will put an announcement in the community tab the day before, but really, I just want to thank everyone too for being here. The conversations, man, it's just they're epic. They're incredible. Thank you guys for being here, participating. Thanks for watching. And if anything I can do to help and support you guys as you guys are supporting me, let me know. And yeah, Salamat, Empine. Yeah, everyone take care. Yeah, take care, guys. Say bye, Joe.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Yes, we'll see you guys. Take care. Ready for a shower? We'll see you guys.